Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining the Confessionals. We are having a mega show tonight. Sorry for the delay. We had some problems, but we are back. And
Jesus.
oh,
Jimmy, I'm
we're
coming
just
back
waiting
down
for
the
Lee.
catacombs.
We had a. I'm
I
sorry.
forgot
We had
how
a.
dark it is.
We had a
Oh.
caretaker looking for Lee. He was running
Oh.
around on the grounds in the
I'm
Vatican.
coming, Jimmy. I'm coming. I forgot how
Yes.
dark it is in the catacombs down here.
Well, I'm glad you made it down.
Promoted. I've been promoted to Cardinal, Jimmy, today.
Oh,
I've been promoted.
So you lied to me. You told me you were going to go run around on the grounds, get some fresh air. I had the caretaker go after you, and you came back as a cardinal.
Well, I didn't want to say anything about my promotion in the church because just in case it didn't happen, I didn't want to, say I'm going to become a cardinal in case it didn't go through. But the Pope himself gave the go ahead, and I have been moved up a little bit closer to God.
Wow.
I feel like a real underdog here. I'm down
Jimmy,
here.
I put in a good word for you. I put in a good word for you. So
I thought you were trying to escape. I made a phone call up top to get one of the caretakers to chase you down in the yard, and here you are getting a promotion. I'm down here in the catacombs. Nice, very nice. Okay.
You. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Step into the box. Tell Jimmy and Lee your sins.
That cut you off a little there, Cardinal?
Thank you. And isn't it funny, people? Here we are doing the word of God, and who gets us kicked off YouTube? Dave Palumbo. that atheist. He's an atheist.
Wow.
Rhetoric. Heathen. Throw him to the wolves.
Heathen. Monty Python style. Jimmy's already getting more wine.
No,
no one throw a stone, even if he does say Jehovah.
Oh man!
Well, we got to be careful what we say because we don't want to get kicked off the air. It's getting very rough out here, very hard, and we have to mind our vocabulary. So we're going to try to keep it clean. We're going to keep the F-bombs to a minimum. No C words. No C words.
No V words.
Only
L
Christ.
Words,
no C. No C. No Z. No D.
No.
We're going to try to.
We can say C. We can say C. We can say Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's right,
yes.
Cardinal
yes.
Lee.
Yes, we can say Christ.
And we can always say chazole or cannoli or ravioli.
And
That's always fun.
Chazole, Sazik.
How about the douche?
Who?
I don't know. Whatever you just said. It sounded awesome. Very Italian.
Oh, and later during confessions, I do have a special guest coming on to listen to some of the confessions. So I hope they're good. I've heard we got a lot of good ones. So there will be a guest here to oversee it also.
A live guest on the confessional?
You got a guest coming on, Lee?
Oh,
that's a first.
Yeah. That's a first.
Really?
I had to work really hard. He had a busy schedule, but I've actually dragged him out of wherever he was. I don't want to say. But he's going to come in and sit on some of the confessions, okay?
I have a hunch who it might be, but I'm probably wrong. Okay, yeah.
That's right.
I'll tell you if it's who I thought it was after.
Okay.
Well,
I had no idea we were going to have a guest on the show today.
very influential guest, Jimmy. The man I was speaking to about your promotion will be on. So when he comes on, you be good, Jimmy, because he's the one who's going to move you up the ladder.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So that's good. I mean, Tyler, do you have any idea that there was going to be a guest on the show today?
He mentioned it real briefly right before we got you on Jimmy, before we were getting everyone together here.
Okay, all right.
So no, it wasn't like we didn't chat about it days prior or nothing like that.
I can get him now if you want. He can sit in on the whole show. He likes the show.
I think the viewers would love that.
This is what happens when you
get a promotion. Let me go get
Tyler.
the guest.
All right. I was told to cue some ceremonial music.
Be on your best behavior, Jimmy.
Where's he? Oh, he's going to get a cat.
Hold on. I got to go get him.
That's
yes. Yes, you're right.
Who is coming in?
Oh,
no! Oh, I'm not prepared. Your grace or whatever. Your popiness.
That's scary.
You just stand there.
I gotta make the sign of the
You
cross.
just stand there.
Oh no!
That doesn't look good, Lee.
Oh, it's real.
It wasn't meant to.
I got chills down my spine. I feel like we're really in front of His Holiness before him.
Yeah. Wow. I tell you, Lee, you're really going all out, man. I'm jealous.
My great grandma's rolling in her grave.
You know, Tyler?
Yeah.
I'm jealous, man. Lee's going all out, man. The Pope is there. He's dressed up like a cardinal.
Now, Jimmy, he said he'll be up next week. Okay, right. And he wants the promotion. He's being good, okay? You're Jimmy.
Sounds good.
Oh, my God.
Man.
Lee.
Well, that's awesome. Wow.
You know,
He's just going to stand there and be silent, and he's just
my
going to listen.
forehead's killing me already from
As a
laughing.
good
I
Pope
just started
is.
the show.
He doesn't talk, he listens.
Jesus Christ.
That's all he's going to do. He's just going to listen. He's just going to observe. Is that right, Your Holiness?
Well, we don't really want to
Wow,
hear what he
you're already
has to say
speaking
anyway.
for him. That's amazing.
He speaks through me, just like the
Oh.
You know, I got to say, I have to confess.
Lord. Stop it. Stop touching me. Stop touching
We've already,
me. We're on camera. Stop
we've already
it.
got a
Not now.
confession and some inappropriate touching.
I have my cheeks are killing me already from laughing. We just started the show.
Man.
I mean,
I'm trying to get warmed up, which
We're
sounds
live.
inappropriate.
We're live. Hold on. They
So-
might not see. Hold on.
No.
Only for a minute. Only for a minute.
Banned. Banned.
Stop
Way to go.
Stop it.
Oh, my
Banned.
God.
Here we come,
Lee,
X.
come on, you got to calm down with that, man.
Here we come, X. Facebook until we're banned from
And
there.
that's enough. Only one sip. Only one sip.
That's fine. That's fun.
Oh,
That's safe.
God.
That's PG. Okay. Well,
Oh, this isn't live, is it? This is Tyler.
no. But we don't like to edit.
Looking
We don't
at
have
the
to.
camera, you actually feel like someone's standing behind me watching.
Hey, no, I'm telling you, I get like it's giving me heebie-jeebies a little bit.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
the scale. The scale's correct.
You're
Just
right.
about.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to hear stuff today you probably haven't heard before, but it's okay.
Or it's probably been a while since he's been in the booth himself, right?
Don't go there, Tyler. Don't go there.
Oh,
We haven't got
God,
time for that show. We'll be here all week.
And on that note, fellas,
Can't
we
believe
have,
it.
I don't know, like 15, 17. We have a lot of confessions, and we're going to do them all because you deserve it, viewers. We want to give it back to them. I think we're leaving all of them in just about. Forgive me if we lost your confession. We're trying to squeeze as many in as we can, keeping all the juicy ones in there. And with that, fathers, are we ready?
You got 17
And
confessions.
also, too,
Something
I want to
insane
tell
like
people
that.
don't buy one of these rape whistles.
It's not
You know, I've
loud
been
enough.
blowing the hell out of this and haven't been raped once. It's fucking going to get a refund.
Dry, PG-13. Let's move forward. Okay.
You ready? Okay.
On that PG-13 humor note, let's get back into some follow-ups. We got 2 follow-ups. One from do you guys recall the story about he was a friend and a teammate, and he went on a camping trip with his teammate friend and his girlfriend. And during his camping trip, just to refreshen anyone that might have heard it or is new to the story, a dude, his teammate / friend, both on a camping trip. One dude brought his girlfriend. They all had some drinking involved over the night. And long story shorter, the girlfriend went into the wrong tent, into the dude's tent that rode in, confessing, spent the whole night with him in his tent, and then in the morning decided to freak out. And he was alleging that, I don't know, she was just covering up or there was a strange mishap. And we were curious, what happened with you and his teammate afterwards? So here is the follow-up to that. Follow-up to the teammate story. So they broke up.
I just want you to know, Popey's shaking his head already.
I can feel it.
Wait, just back up
It's
a
making me
second.
nervous.
So the girl went in his tent. She didn't realize she was going in the wrong tent.
Yeah,
That's how she acted in the morning. That's what she alleged in the morning. She freaked out. I was like, what the F? And made a whole scene.
So she slept with the guy, made love to him, didn't realize it was
All night. Yeah, spent the night in that tent. Different tent. Where the tent's located. So it's a little right. So that we thought that was crazy. And anyways, we wondered what happened with he and his friend, right?
Stop rolling your eyes. Stop rolling your eyes. This is serious stuff. Stop it.
God.
So
I have a confession like that
all
too. I'll
this.
tell you later. Go ahead.
So those two, the boyfriend of that girl that they broke up, and the dudes remained friends. 3 months later, she posted on Facebook that she was pregnant and his heart stopped. The dude that confessed.
Right.
So fortunately, the baby ended up being his teammates, not the dude that she's cheated on with.
Wow.
And you'll love this, Jimmy and Lee. Moral of the story: no matter how drunk you get, always wear a raincoat. It prevents pregnancy and little colds.
Yes.
Yes. That's a callback.
Or stick it in the bum.
Oh, or that band.
Yeah. You could go through the rear door. Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just wipe your feet.
Rear door.
Yeah.
Perfect innuendo, fellas. You're nailing
it. Don't want to walk mud in the house. Don't walk mud in.
We're supposed to be priests. We're not supposed to be talking about this shit.
I'm so sorry, Your Holiness.
Hey. He's having a little chuckle back here. You are. Stop it.
He does have a creepy smile on.
I know. It's creepy, huh?
He is creepy.
He looks like my grandpa.
So the end of the story was what? That he remained friends with his friend, and the baby was the friend's, not his. It was the friend's.
That's
baby.
right. So he, the
so
classic Maury show happened, and it wasn't his. It was the dude.
But I have to confess here. I mean, so the girl went in his tent, thinking it was the other guy's tent. And then she slept with the guy and made love to him all night.
If you recall, Jimmy, he made a point to say, like, we are incredibly different physiques, and just about everything about them was very starkly different.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that was, another argument point on his half.
Yeah. Well, that's like.
But even no matter how drunk you are.
A friend of mine, I was at a wedding, just real quick, because I know we got a lot of confessions, but I was at a wedding once, and I went, I was friends with the bride and the groom, whatever, and everybody was back at the house at the end of the night. We're partying like crazy. There was drinking, all kinds of stuff was going on. So anyway, the girl that just got married ended up downstairs, and the best friend was, doing her from behind over a couch. And the groom came downstairs later on, and caught them in the act. And she, the guy jumped off her, and she got up, and she says, "Oh my God!" She says, she claimed that she thought it was him.
Yeah.
Behind her, yeah. And meanwhile, it was the friend doing her, and she said she thought it was the new husband.
Get off me!
So they stayed together. That was the crazy part of the story.
Oh, he's got another. So he's gonna be going through a lot of birthday candles tonight, Jimmy.
I see that.
I
like those candles.
Happy birthday to me.
I think I gotta start doing a lot. I gotta step up my drinking.
And with that, we got one more follow-up. You should keep that drink coming, because the sexy stalker version 4, version 5, she's back again. This time, she said she's done seeking absolution, just confessing.
Done.
Yeah, she's got some sour grapes with me, but she's ever more infatuated with you, Jimmy, loves you, Lee, and here's what she has to say this week. Dear Tyler, this is my confession for the week. Although I am not seeking absolution, I'm going to keep it as clean as possible. Please don't decimate it by censoring too much. I'll try. I would also ask if you would read it with some degree of enthusiasm, not like you're being tortured.
Wow.
Demanding.
Why would this person think you're being tortured reading this confession?
She doesn't like how I seem like I'm going to the dentist with reading her sexcapades for you, Jimmy. It's a burden somewhat to be the conduit of such sexy stories for another man. It's very, I don't know if anyone's done that on a live, 8,000 people watch show on YouTube. It's quite a thing. Anyways, anywho, let's see.
Wow.
If you don't want to read it, perhaps Leah read it.
Jimmy's got a stalker. She wants to do him. She's very rude and blah, blah, blah. She's just writing back the third time, okay? Just getting him up to date on what's going on. Okay.
This is at least the fourth time,
Lee,
I think.
just don't bring him in the bedroom tonight, please. Go ahead, Tyler. Go ahead.
He's going to set it up right at the corner of the bed. Anyways.
Well, he would because he's sick in the head, but he would bring that thing in the bedroom.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go cut a hole out here and stand behind him.
Oh my God!
No, it's not allowed. YouTube will frown upon.
I'm on X now. I can do anything.
Yeah, anything flies. It's probably Wild West over there. You can put anything through any kind of hole. Anyways, let's continue. I really do like you, Tyler. I don't want you to be uncomfortable. Blah, blah. I must confess that I went to Mateo's this week. Now, this is 2 weeks ago now, Jimmy, because I've seen Jimmy there. Can we confirm, Jimmy?
Yeah. What? You want me to confirm what? I didn't know anybody was there.
Do you go to Mateo's?
You go to Mateo's?
Oh, yeah. It's across the street. I'm going to take Lee there when he comes here. It's across the
Oh, my
street
God.
from my
All
house.
right. So, another confirmed location. She knows. She's definitely physically in places you are, or like next level sleuth.
Yeah, when Lee comes out here, I'm going to take him over there because I told everybody that I'm taking him to Pro Fit Gym, where I train. And maybe Gym 33. I'm gonna take Lee around a little bit, and show him the neighborhood, and I'm gonna take him to Mateo's, and then we're gonna go down the road to Tuta Paz. We're gonna get some really.
I'll bring my rape whistle in case we run into her.
Yeah, I was gonna say you might run into her.
Well, I think I definitely would take that to Mateo's. Yeah,
you very well might run into her. Anyways, she was at Mateo's, and I'm gonna go back to first person for her. I had everything planned in my freaky, wicked head. I was freshly showered, my V shaved, all soft and clean, and I was oiled all over my body from head to toe. I'm just imagining like someone's dripping in oil at the bar. Slippery and sleek, she says, with the scent of rose petals, wearing a cute little black dress and high heels.
Wow. I was getting nervous.
I thought it over. And it's so awesome. It's really weird to read this stuff first person. Can I tell you? I thought it over and decided no panties, so you would have easy access to my soft little, what, right. Chazuli. Yeah. I got a noodle. Don't just say noodle. I got there.
Go ahead.
Rose petal. There you go. That's nice. She'll appreciate that. I got there and I took a seat at the end of the bar because I know he likes to sit there and it's more private.
Hold on. Do you, Jimmy? Do you sit at the end of
that?
Do you sit at the end of the bar, Jimmy?
I do. It's scary, man. I gotta.
Oh my God.
I need another drink, man.
This always happens.
I can still hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know you can. Okay. I ordered wine.
Jimmy's life could be in danger.
By the way, this Pinot Noir I choose tonight we're going to power right through this one and get to the Chianti. But anyways, she ordered herself some wine and waited, lost in my fantasy, him sitting next to me, but we don't speak. He just takes his hand and touches my thigh. I uncross my legs because I know what he wants. I part my thighs, already imagining. I can feel the wetness dripping on the bar stool. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. He and his hand under the dress. I look around. It doesn't seem like anyone's noticing what he's doing. He doesn't look at me, and I don't dare look at him. No. I try to sip my wine, and his fingers find their way to her cannoli.
Yeah. In the north. Yeah.
Parts the rose petals and runs his fingers over. It gets really. I can't read it. I can't even make this become cannoli and raviolis here.
They know
another word we use in Australia for the V is the mutt. You can say the mutt. He ran his fingers into my mutt.
I don't like that word.
I don't either. It sounds like something around a castle.
My moat? No, that's a moat. This is her
moat. A moat? Oh, like a freaking like a castle, like a moat?
No. It's called a mutt. Let me stick my finger in your mutt.
I hate that. It sounds like some British,
like
a British pudding or something.
With the bridge.
Imagine she opens her legs. You go like, "You've got a big boat. Where's the drawbridge?"
Oh God. Yeah, that's what I was visualizing.
Man.
The moat and the drawbridge to get in and out of there.
She's gonna hate this for destroying her story.
Like a scene from Braveheart, storming the castle.
I don't know. I don't know. Somehow that word like kind of destroys the whole letter.
I know. Anyways, yeah, she's gonna hate that we're just butchering the story here. Anyways,
yeah.
Back to it. y'all, she's imagining a real hot scene here with you two at this bar that you actually go to. I'm back to first person.
I do. That's
I'm
scary.
so hot right now. I want his fingers rough and hard. He takes his hand away, nonchalantly puts his hand to his face and breathes it in. He smiles. And then she addresses you directly, Jimmy. Come find me, baby. Like a Viking warrior. I'm going to rock your world. Dear Lee Priest, what are your thoughts?
Wow.
Oh, Jimmy, she's up in the game. She's getting closer. It's like she's getting more comfortable. She's coming into
up in the
bar. She's watching you sit at the end of the bar. She's
it's
like a shark, and it sees
she is shark-like.
Yeah, it's like it sees the injured animal bleeding, and it's slowly circling, and it sees there's no danger. I'll circle a bit closer, slowly coming in to one day.
Oh, she got you.
Yeah.
Well,
quiet little shark, quiet, sexy little blonde shark. Oh, speaking of that,
yeah, go ahead.
We got more imagery. She also attached a picture with that.
Oh,
yeah. And this one, to her credit, this is very tasteful.
Oh.
And of course, this is the internet, and this is an anonymous show. We have to assume take her, for face value.
Naked, she's not naked. She's not naked. It's okay.
She's not naked. This is boy, you see worse stuff on Instagram. This is A-okay. This is practically PG by today's standards. This is,
Look,
and I appreciate
you go stand on the balcony later and talk to the people from the balcony. We're fucking here right now. Shut up.
I can actually smell the moot from here.
Yeah. There you go.
Well.
All I see is Bibles and candles. I don't see anything.
You don't see the is that red roses or flowers? Or?
Yeah, it's like a curtain or an effect.
Wait a minute. I don't see anything,
can't see
guys. I see a stack of Bibles,
Jimmy,
a candle in the middle, and Bibles on the right.
You don't see the
StreamYard's pretty foolproof. I don't know even what to advise to you.
You don't see the blonde. You don't see the blonde.
I don't see anything. I see Bibles piled on both sides with a candle in the middle.
Can't see that? It's like dead center.
God doesn't want me to see. God doesn't want me to see.
Maybe you got to slide your finger across.
I get the message, Lord. I get the message, Lord. You
okay,
don't want me to see it. I got it. I got it.
Hang on.
All I see is Bibles and a candle.
I'll try to send it to you really quickly.
She looks about 5'4", 5'5". She doesn't
if I send it to you, then you have to leave. Dang. Well, that's annoying. And didn't you see it before? Do you recall?
When?
I'll have to send it to you right now, real quickly.
What's under her arm? Is that a towel or what? Or
I guess it's like holding a shirt or a towel or something.
What brand is the G?
This is a perfect time. By the way, if you're looking to drop your confession, there it is. rxmuscleconfessions@gmail.com. That's where I'm in right now to get this sexy photo, which I'm sending to Jimmy right now.
There it is. Email
there. Jimmy, check it out, Jimmy, now. We might lose him for a second, but at least we'll get to see the photo, everyone. Go ahead and tap it, Jimmy. It's on your phone on our text combo.
Tap it, Jimmy. Tap it.
Yeah, just go ahead and tap it a little. Not too long, though.
He wants to tap it.
Hopefully he'll actually come back. We're just going to lose him for another 40 minutes. So he'll just be gone with this photo. Anyways, what's going on, Lee? How's Australia?
Good. Springtime, daylight. How's this? Petrol was here. We'll get off. But I want the government to confess that they're ripping us off because petrol was just $2 and under, right? A litre, which is, $8 yours, roughly.
Oh!
So, but now because it's school holidays started, today petrol is $2.50 a litre. So that'd be $10 a gallon.
Good God.
And they're like, we don't know why petrol's going up. Yeah, because everyone's driving to go on holidays, you bastards, and the government doesn't do nothing about it because they make more taxes the more the petrol goes up. So,
crap, dang it. Well,
it's just the beginning, Lee. And one day we will have a conversation about this.
Yeah, but for now, what'd you think? You saw the photo?
Did you see the picture?
I did. It was like you said, it was very tasteful. It wasn't, vulgar in any way, shape, or form.
But now, Jimmy, when you're at the bar, you can look for a somewhat medium height blonde girl.
You got a lot of. That's right, Cardinal Lee. You're so astute. There's so many clues you have here, Lee. There's a lot more clues than meets the eye, Jimmy. You know the length, the color, the blonde hair.
Yeah, maybe.
Look at that shirt, Jimmy. Just in case she wears that shirt into the bar, take note of that shirt too.
It's like what? vertical striped white light shirt.
Her hair looks blondish by the black and white photo, but it looks like a light streaky type hair.
It was blonde in the other photo. We saw there was another. That photo was more revealing. In the car,
Yeah,
Jimmy. There's probably not too many blonde girls because normally a lot of Italians are dark hair in the restaurant. So Jimmy, keep an eye on the blondes. I'm guaranteed there won't be that many. So you can start whittling it down. When I get there, Jimmy, we're going to go through all the blondes at the bar and find her.
Okay, I'm there.
There you go.
Maybe we should hold up a sign. Well, we don't have to, actually, I guess, right?
At this point, you should be keeping an eye out, if nothing else, Jimmy, at all your local haunts. At all your haunts. Anyways, guys, we have another new sexy. I don't know if she's not a stalker of Jimmy, but a stalker of the show in general.
Oh.
And yeah, this is a great. This one I was like, oh boy, do we have a show this week?
Wait a minute, he's having problems with his candles here. What's going on?
I got to wait for the wax to dry so it stands up. Didn't you see it before I lit it? And it fell over on me. I got covered in wax and almost
I have to talk to the Pope. We have to get you better candles than that.
What's going on with these candles?
That thing looks like something you put on a cake.
You know what he did? He was meant to get me these big, thick candles, but Mr. Panicker over here, Mr. Man of the People, decided to get extra bulletproof glass on his Pope-mobile, so I had to go for the shitty cheap candles.
It's expensive.
You're welcome.
There goes the whole budget, the whole
freaking someone might assassinate me. Someone might assassinate me. Yeah, it's like, what did they do? Assassinate? You're going to see God if they kill you, so you should be happy. Shut up.
Oh man. Man,
you wait till I become.
Oh,
and they send the smoke out. Yeah, you wait. Yeah,
threatening the throne.
When you become the Pope, I'm going to move out.
I'm moving you straight up, Jimmy.
I'm coming upstairs. I'm out of here.
You're going straight to Cardinal, Jimmy.
I'm out of here.
You're coming up to the rectum. I mean, directory with me. You're coming.
Yeah, I want to walk around the grounds, man. I want to. I'm sick of being down here.
Blessed are the cheesemakers.
This will cheer you up while you're in the catacombs. This is a good one. So here we go. This is a new sexy confession. It's about the show in general. Bless me, fathers, for I have sinned. It's been a hot minute since my last confession. And I think she's talking about like her actual last like real confession. Like, anyways, my sin is I'm a 31-year-old woman and I'm 8 months pregnant. I don't think that's her sin. She's getting into it. My husband got me to start watching RX Muscle about 1.5 years ago, and now I binge watch the show without him. Whoa, is that the sin? Not yet. It gets more sinful. Having that being said, when he goes to bed, I stay up late and I watch Jimmy and Lee confessions, and I find myself masturbating every episode.
Wow. You hear that, Lee? Father Lee, you hear that?
I heard that, Jimmy. I'm glad that we are bringing joy and happiness to people because, look, as wrong as that might sound, just imagine she could have had a stressful day. Her husband and her might not be getting on. There could be things happening in her life. But if we being on here, bringing the word of God to her, can bring her happiness and fulfillment, who are we to judge? We don't judge. We just listen.
Oh, that's true. We don't pass judgment.
No.
I have to say, according to the confession that Tyler just read,
I'm not done.
There's more.
There's so much more.
Hold on then, Jimmy. Let's hold our thoughts, Jimmy. Hold our thoughts.
Yeah.
Whoa, reel it back in.
Eager McPriesters.
I have to apologize to the audience. Next week I will have my outfit on, and I'll
be a little more priestly.
Yes, and I'm going to decorate the room a little different down here in the catacombs, so it's going to look a little more.
And the reason Jimmy hasn't got it on right now is because I've been a man of the cloth for a little bit longer, but Jimmy has just finished his thesis, and once the Pope reads the thesis on what he's done on creation and that, he or she then be elevated up a notch.
That's how it works. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Yeah. That's how it works. You got to pay your penance down here.
Tyler, you think we could work it out when Lee's here? We could do the show together at my end of the catacombs.
Absolutely, of course.
Yeah.
That's how we're gonna do it.
Okay,
it'll be fun.
We're going to do it sitting at the end of the bar at Mateo's.
Yeah, do it live from Mateo's. We're here on Stalker Watch.
I think that would be great. We can do it. You know, we can do it
at the end of the bar dressed like
Listen, I'm very tight with the owners and the manager. We could do the whole show at the Mateo's. You know,
Oh, man.
We'll have to
I'm
ask
here
for
it.
forgiveness.
If they can control the audio for us a little bit, wouldn't that be fun?
Absolutely. Well, we have to wear headsets that'll cut out a lot of the sound. If Lee can get I'll pick up Lee a blue parrot. This way we could.
Imagine us just sitting at the end of the bar dressed like this.
No, we're gonna do it. We're not imagine. We are gonna dress up like priests, and we're gonna go to Mateo's and we're gonna do the show from the restaurant.
There's some sound logistics I'm concerned about, but hey, we're gonna
figure
it
pasta,
out. But for now,
maybe Jimmy and I would just
we're gonna break bread together, Lee, me and you, and we're gonna do all the
local cathedral. Do you have a cathedral we could go to and do it on the grounds of a local cathedral?
Oh, we have St. Patrick's church right down the road here.
I love St. Pat. He's a beautiful guy, St. Pat. We'll go see St. Pat. We'll do it from there. Tell Patty we're coming. Tell Patty
to their health.
We'll stop at the church. We'll sit down, you know, right at the altar, and we actually have. We can use their, being that we're priests, we can use their confessional box when we're there.
Yeah.
Wow, it should be no problem. We still got to get through this very. Okay, so let's get back. We got so much. We're still on the. Okay, we're on our first.
Said it should be no problem, Lee.
What's the worst that could happen, Jimmy? What's the worst that could
happen? Okay. So we want from a sexy.
We're not finished this one. Carry
we
on.
can't get arrested.
We're not.
Listen, I don't think we can get. How can we get in trouble? We're dressed up as priests in the church at the confessional booth. We can't get. How can we get in trouble? That would be sacrilegious.
Kindly asked to leave, and
I identify as a priest. You can't kick men.
I identify as a priest.
That's right.
You can't kick the man of the cloth out of the church. If we believe in
our they can get in a lot of trouble if they try to kick two priests out of the church. That could be headline news.
Oh yeah,
really bad.
Yeah. Don't you worry. PLM, Priest Lives Matter. We'll start it. Don't you worry.
Oh, we'll start a whole movement, Lee. Forget about it.
God.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. All right. We're back in this confession. We left off the last sentence. She watches Jimmy and Lee confessions, finds herself masturbating every episode. But guys, here's where the roller coaster takes a sad dip. The sad part is she's talking about her husband and her. We don't have sex often, so I feel guilty rubbing one off at night to you guys and the crazy shit you talk about. Ha ha. I turn on and it's not just us. She turns on a little bit of porn and then does her thing while watching the show. So we're like a little shrimp cocktail appetizer. That's a weird analogy for, sexy time, but
we're like the
whoever you are.
We're like the ice cream.
As she's watching, I'm speaking to you. Just imagine you've come into the church. Jimmy and I
keep it priesthood, please.
I am.
Oh, he will.
Jimmy and I are standing at the front of the church. As you walk down the aisle, you come down and you take a seat. You hold that Bible in your hand as Jimmy approaches you, and he says to you, "How can I help you, my dear?" And you look up, sweat rolling down your face, tingling inside, as Jimmy takes the wafer and he puts on your tongue. And you're wishing that was his slowly going in your mouth. But it is only the body of Christ. You'll have to wait to get the body of Jimmy later. And then he pours. I've just given us something to visualize.
Sorry for laughing. I didn't want to ruin the moment, but
I know. No, that was hard. I'm glad it wasn't me.
Yeah, I know. Usually it's you, right? Exactly.
It is, yeah.
Oh my God.
Man. You gotta.
Anyway, I think she got the gist of the story there.
Yeah.
Do you want to try your hand at it, Jimmy? You want to? Imagine she came down to the catacombs to give you your daily bread.
Yes.
But this time she opened up your little prison door.
Does the bread have mayo on
it? Well, all I can say is that I'm speaking to her also. Imagine coming down now you already did your thing with Lee upstairs because he got promoted. Now you're gonna come down to the catacombs. You got to find me, so you got to go through all the dark hallways and lit by little dull candle lights here and there. All of a sudden you come to this opening, and there I am laying on my bed. I'm taking a nap, and you come over to me, and you have some holy water, and you want to bless me. So with that, I see you. I open my eyes. I'm very surprised to see you, and you tell me that you want to bless me with some holy water because you got it upstairs from Lee. And I says, absolutely. So I pull the sheets down slowly, and I pull my drawers down,
Jesus,
and
I'm
up
about to come
and
back
and
down
up, and up comes the antenna, and you start blessing the little thing, because it did have a cold a while back, and you're gonna bless the little shazola, and I'm gonna have a big smile on my face, and I'm gonna thank you 100% for blessing my thing because it's been through hell and back. And then with that, I make the sign of the cross. I bless you, and you go back upstairs.
Oh man, it really petered out.
That sounded beautiful. If she doesn't show up, I'm coming down there.
Yeah. that just ended that was very wholesome. Very wholesome.
You like
ending.
that, right?
Yeah, I was a loop.
We're still not done. I even like the word antenna.
Did you say antenna?
Tyler didn't even hear that.
It made me think of my favorite. Remember that TV show, My Favorite?
Tyler was sweating when I told her she wanted to bless my chazol.
Yeah, I was at that point. I hadn't gotten past that yet. But we still listen. We got one more part.
Favorite Martian. Remember My Favorite Martian, and his antennas would come up out of his head.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
So there's one more part. So
that goes on.
Yeah, I know. She needs to be more specific about the sex.
Wait, there's more?
Yeah, she wants to talk a little bit more about the problem now. The real confession is the issue with her and her husband.
Holy Jesus.
She says it's because he has a temper. He says it's because he has a temper and he's very negative. So it's a huge turnoff when every day he comes home crabby and pissed from just normal daily things. He'll want to have sex after yelling at me over stupid little things and saying that and then he'll say I'm never doing enough like his father does to his mother. We're working on all this, but fathers, please forgive me for my sins. If you have any advice, it's much appreciated. P.S. Love the show. Keep keeping it dirty and real. It would seem we are.
Well, I do not find this a sin because what this is happening is because of the relationship at home. She loves her husband and she wants to show him love and make love, but due to him coming home angry and that subconsciously, this love for her husband's turning to bitterness and hate. So to feel love in that, she's watching Jimmy and I, and she's fantasizing about us, but yet she deep down wants it to be a husband because she loves her husband and longs for him. So we're like surrogate husbands. But if her husband would show her love and listen to her, she'd still enjoy the show, but yet should be making love to her husband and being as one and stuff like that. So it's not really a sin what she's doing. It's almost like an outlet where she has to go and just find happiness at the moment because her husband isn't giving her that attention she needs.
Dang, Jimmy.
Well, I go a little deeper than that. Yeah, I don't want to break the news to her, but if your husband's coming home and he's in a bitchy mood and he's crabby and he's to me, I'm telling you from experience that he's not happy with his home life because that's why, because I'm sure when he's out on the street and he's on a job with the guys, he's laughing and joking, but as soon as he gets in the car and he starts coming home, he gets in a shit mood. And then he takes it out on you because he's not happy. This is my take on it.
That's it, Jimmy. Preach it, Jimmy. Preach it. That's it.
I'm very sorry. I have to tell you the truth. That's my opinion. That's what I see. I'm very sorry. So
I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to stick that dagger in her so deep, so quick. So
well, I had it. Look, this is confessions, and we're men of the court, and we have to tell it like it is.
Since I've been elevated, I was trying to go a bit softer, and I know you're still in the catacombs and you're driving it home hard, but I was trying to soften the blow with the high raise up. You know.
She says he comes home. She says he comes home pissed from just normal daily things.
Nah, it's not. That's not the daily things. Nah.
It's like Jimmy says. It's like we've all been in those relationships where you got the tension at home, and like Jimmy said, when you're out with your friends, you're like having fun. Then you're like, oh, what time is it? Oh, I got to go home. And as you're driving home, you're thinking, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be in the same room. It's just that tension where so thick you can cut it with a knife and you just don't really talk. It's just like you're roommates that don't interact. So,
Exactly.
what Jimmy is saying, sadly, is probably the truth, but I just didn't want to come down on it too hard. But
yes,
now that we have, he's cheating on you. You shouldn't be together.
Oh!
Get the fuck out.
This is
Listen,
all conjecture.
We didn't want to hurt her feelings. The girl's going through. She's going through a situation that she has to actually
this is
watch
all conjecture.
us.
We don't know you personally.
Yes, so let's do this. All right, let's lighten it up and look on more the passionate side, and have a little.
Yeah, why don't you try some? If they haven't tried role playing, that's always super fun. They can switch it up that way.
Maybe
talking,
dress your husband up as maybe dress you.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to explain over here. So now,
there you go.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to shed some light on the compassionate side of this person. We don't know her, but I want to, just from life experience, I've had a lot of life experience. I think he's not happy, and it's a shame that you have to actually come on the show and rub one out with us with a porn going at the same time.
Not a shame. So it's kind of cool.
Well, no, not really. I mean, listen, yeah, I mean, I understand that. Me and Lee are good-looking men. I understand the whole thing. But
gorgeous.
The bottom line is, you're not happy yourself. That's why That's why you're trying to find another avenue, because you are not happy yourself. Because of the way your husband's coming home, because he's probably happy on the streets, like we just agreed that he's probably on the job, laughing with his guys and joking. Then he gets in the car and on his way home, he starts getting in his shit mood on the way home because he ain't happy with his home life. So all I'm saying is, maybe you should try to have a talk with the guy.
Yeah.
And see what's happening. Say, honey, you're not happy. I could tell. You come home.
Communication.
Listen, everybody has a shit day at work, but you don't bring it home.
Every day, right?
Hey, I mean, like when I was married back in the day, I didn't bring my shit home. Whatever was going on out in the street, and I was having a bad day, fighting with the guys, yelling, whatever. I didn't bring it home. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
you should be happy to go home. You should be like, like when you get home and you got a dog and the dog's is all happy to see you. That's how you should be.
That's how me and the wife are. Yeah.
Well, that's how you should be. You should be like, you know what? No matter how shitty my day is and people have cut me off and done this and done that, it doesn't matter, because at 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'm going home to my beautiful wife. We're going to watch TV, have dinner together, cuddle on the couch. That's how it should be. You should be waiting to get home and cuddle and just relax together.
You're home, like Lee just said.
And you deserve that, anonymous confessor.
Yes.
That's your safe haven, your home. So no matter what kind of shit day you're having out there, you're going to come home and you're going to be, it's your safe place. You're going to have your woman, your man. You're going to have love. You're going to eat and watch movies. You're going to make love. You're going to go to bed. You're going to hug. You're going to hold each other during the night. That's your safe haven.
And it's like my wife and I do sometimes. It's like Rachel and I do sometimes. You don't even have to make love in that. Sometimes just sitting on the couch and you just hold each other's hand while you're watching the movie, just feeling the warmth of the touch is like this tingly feeling that you get with each other.
Listen to him.
And they're there.
Listen, there's many forms of love. I don't mean actual fornication.
It's not just cannolis and raviolis all the time.
It's not just saziz and fajol. So there's many forms of love. Like you said, you hold your wife's hand on the couch. That's a form of love. Making dinner for her. Cleaning the dishes. Let her say, "Honey, sit down. I got the dishes," and you clean the dishes. I don't have a freaking dishwasher. I got to clean. So this is the kind of stuff you do when you're in love, and that's your home is your palace. That's your safe haven. You need to have love under your roof.
It's like today,
that's like this guy coming home with muddy feet, and you got white carpet, and he opens up the door, and he's wiping his muddy feet on the white carpet. This is what he's doing. It's not good.
Yeah, it's like this week, my wife and I have been a bit under the weather with this flu and cold, and she's been struggling at work. So I was sick at home, and I think, you know what, she's sick too. So I dragged myself out of bed. I've only trained probably twice this week. I've done a little bit of cardio, but I went out, I got some flowers, got her a card, and I went, and she's like, "What are you doing here? You meant to be at home in bed." I said, "Well, you're out working." So I took her some flowers and a beautiful card.
Oh, ladies' man here.
Very nicely.
Yeah, just the little things like that. So you just, even like I said, just little things.
Take note, gentlemen, watching the show. Anyways,
you're bringing tears to my eyes.
Oh, Jimmy.
Yeah.
You getting touched?
Yeah.
Look at that. Wow. That's sweet. Well, listen, fellas, I don't want to ruin this beautiful moment, but we've got so many confessions I want to make sure we hit up. And I know our time is precious. Both of you only have so many precious holy hours. So with that, here's two. These are crazy, and these two are related. And I felt they had some substance to them.
They're related. Are they from the Appalachians?
No.
Oh,
But you'll see how you'll
wrong
quickly
story.
realize
Wrong
you'll
story.
quickly realize how they're related. And they're pretty wild. So here we go. Here's one, and there's gonna be a contrasting one after that. Hey fellas, gets right into it. So I was with this girl, at least so I thought. We are making out. I turned them over, pulled down their pants, and they have hair on their ass. And the biggest.
Wait, what do you mean they? There's two?
No, you can. That's just a he's choosing that pronoun because he's not. He said at least I thought it was a girl, so
Okay, all right.
he's not being gender, assuming gender with the way he's
Right.
specifically. Anyways, they have hair on their ass and the biggest fun flaps I've ever seen. Immediately, I go soft and face goes white. I said to myself, I may be with a trans person. They also have a pretty deep voice, especially in today's world. You never know what you're going to get. So she asked me what's wrong multiple times. I finally caved and politely asked, because honesty is the best policy, did she used to be a man? And I've never experienced anything like this before. She says no, that she's been on gear for years, and that's what happened as side effects. She kicks me out, and I went home with blue balls. So what would you guys do in that situation? Or have you experienced something like it? Thank you, fathers.
Well, yes. I've been.
Goodbye, YouTube.
In my younger days, I've been with many bodybuilding women that had hairy bums, hairy chins.
Okay, so it's a thing.
Everywhere, and a clitoris like that. So,
are you? You're not even joshing? Like that's been a real experience.
Yeah, I've been with plenty of female bodybuilders who had hair everywhere, and they get that real leathery skin, so even their skin becomes manly. And the clitoris is like that. You go down, it almost pokes you in the eye.
Oh wow!
But yes, so look, it's hard. Look, I can understand with this day and age being cautious and stuff like that, but female women that train and take gear need love too. Yes, they could be a bit manly, but they're lots of fun. They have lots of energy. They get really angry, and they know if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, God.
Jimmy?
So I'd apologize to her and go back because you're missing out on something special.
Oh, that ties into the next one, Jimmy. Well, in somewhat of a sense. But it's funny that you should say that for sure.
Wait a minute.
Jimmy.
What do you want me to do here? Do you want me to
hold on,
elaborate on the?
I don't know. I guess can you
want me to elaborate on the female taking gear, or you want me to elaborate on the next confession that you're about to?
I just got to feed the Pope for a minute. We just finished milking the 5-year-old. We just finished milking the 5-year-old. I just got to give the Pope his fucking drink from. I just got to give the Pope his bit of drink. It's like the blood from the young boys. You got to give it to him. Hey, right.
For those just listening, maybe while driving, he has a freaking blood little bag up to the Pope's mouth.
I knew he was a vampire. I knew he was a vampire, Tyler. So, do you want me to elaborate on the woman? That's nicely.
So Jimmy, this person said, "What would you guys do in that situation, or experience something like it?"
Yeah, carry on.
Of course, I have. Of course, I listen. Me and Lee were we're both in the sport for many years. So of course I have experience with that. Yes, I have. Yes, I have many stories with that. But I'll tell you one in particular.
Okay.
So many years ago.
Hold on. I'm turning side on because I'm in the box listening to you, Jimmy.
My confession is that I was with a bodybuilding woman. She had a phenomenal physique. She was well built, and she was definitely a woman. But like Lee says, when they take gear for many years, things happen, and so anyway, I was in the apartment with this person and laying down, and she decided to give me polish my brass, and
nice.
So I was just laying there getting my brass polished, and then all of a sudden she stopped, and then she started to come towards me, towards my head. I was laying on the ground, and all of a sudden her legs straddled over my head, and she still had her underwear on. So I started kissing her lightly between the legs, and I said, you know what? Let me just. So I pulled the underwear to the side. I might have even told this story on After Hours. And as I pulled the underwear to the side, the speed bag came out. So it hit me in the nose, and I was,
like a cartoon noise.
Yeah, like boom, and I'm. So I'm laying there with the speed bag on my nose, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? I don't want to hurt the girl's feelings. I don't want to throw her off. I don't want to make a scene. So I started to slightly give it,
hell yeah, you did.
Yeah, I started to polish it.
Did you have to do it like this too, Jimmy? Did you take your 2 fingers and work it like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Give it a reach around.
So as I was laying there on the floor, as a gentleman, I had to do the right thing, And so yeah, I stroked the little Shazoli, and I kind of gave it, I gave it a little polish, and she was very happy, and I just kept it to myself.
I love that.
As she stood over Jimmy on the bed, Jimmy's like this.
Father Jimmy challenging logic. Love it.
Yes.
And as Jimmy's saying that, I'm getting visions because
I have to say it was a very emotional moment. Like I didn't know.
Experience.
I actually was questioning my gender at that moment. I was like, does the tongue go up north, or does the thing go? Do I do the? I mean, I was very confused at that moment. But I went with the lesser of the two evils. I didn't want to embarrass her, so that's what I did.
The scary bit is when their little clitoris does get a bit hard, and they say, "No, you bend over." You're like, "What? What?"
Man, oh man.
Very attractive lady, unbelievable physique, but because of the gear, like you said, Lee,
but the good thing is,
they get a little facial hair.
Finding the G spot is easy when they got that, and they come very easy.
There's no doubt about it. I mean,
your job's done in quick.
I didn't want to really get into it, but she was screaming at top of her lungs. I thought maybe the neighbors would thought I was killing her because she was screaming in the top of her lungs. Yeah.
Amazing. And so this one ties kind of into the next one, although this one takes a very different twist.
Wait, Tyler, does Dave watch these shows?
Yes.
Yeah. Boy, I hope. He says he loves them, so unless he's lying, the man makes an honest man.
I am keeping the stories very clean because I could have been a little more graphic with that one. So I kept it light.
No,
I think the people got
they got
the gist of the story.
Yeah.
And I kept it kind of clean and a little more to the imagination. Okay, thank you.
The Pope says thank you for keeping it clean. He did a good job, didn't he?
Yes, because we don't want to have any problems with right.
Not his first day in the studio. We don't want to upset him.
No,
okay,
we don't want to get upset.
Moving forward, here's our next confession. We're back in the box. Hey, Jimmy, Father Lee, and Tyler. Okay, guys, here goes. I used to live with a trans woman, and one weekend, she persuaded me to do some MDMA. The disco lights, that's a crazy party drug for those who might not know.
Yeah.
The disco lights were on. The rave music was blaring, and the atmosphere was second to none. Now, what you got to remember is this was my first time trying MDMA, so I didn't really know what to expect. But holy shit!
I'm a little confused about MDMA.
Isn't it? It's similar to Molly, right?
Like a drug you take, and you can get. Some people use it at raves, but then you can take it, and you get really loving when you're with someone. Touching them feels very tingly.
Incredibly sensuous.
Yes, it's a real you're really into it, like you're in another world where you just want to be loved and cuddle, and everything just intensifies. It's just
party drug. Yeah, dancing is probably extremely fun.
What we'll do on the next confessions, when we're at Mateo's, I'll slip Jimmy some MDMA.
There you go. I'm sure if you don't, the stalker will.
Yeah.
Sounds like a wonderful drug.
Yeah. So anyways, he didn't really know what to expect, but holy shit. He would say within 45 minutes, go back to first. My clothes were off and my C was in her mouth. And then for the rest of the evening, we were effing like crazy, filling every orifice. The moral of the story, guys, here's his takeaway. Is that was 6 years ago. And yes, they're still together. Anyway, Jimmy, Tyler, where's my wine? I like to drink too, you know. I love this guy. Unfortunately, Kim got a rather lengthy sentence in prison, but she is getting ready for her release soon.
Oh, this is the guy. I know this guy.
You know him?
To me, this guy.
So is that like ecstasy, Lee? Is that similar to ecstasy?
Yeah, you could probably say.
Yeah, very similar. Very similar.
Okay.
This guy here actually wrote to me on Instagram and actually sent me photos, and he's telling me how he can't wait till she gets out of jail, and he's got photos and videos, and he really misses her. So this is actually, I can guarantee, this is a true confession, because he was saying he was going to write in, and he talks to me on Instagram a bit and how he longs for her because she's in jail now and stuff like that. So this is a true love story. So yes,
it is, and we're
continuing. So this person
He's got a little more
in touch with you, Father Lee?
Yes, on Instagram. Yes, they were saying they were going to write in, and they told me the whole story, how he fell in love with this trans person. They really have great sex, and it's wonderful. And now she's in jail. He misses her, but soon she should be getting out. So this is a true love story. So we cannot judge. You know, if she identifies as a woman now and they're having great fun, because look,
and he loves her.
So and he loves her, and that's the main thing. Like,
forgive me, Father Lee.
There's just a little more, guys. Sorry, if I can, I'll let you get right back into it. Let me just. She's got one more sentence. So, the one thing I would say is, once you have effed a trans woman, you wouldn't go back. Believe me. And I was with a woman for 14 years, biological, whatever you would call that. Anyway, like I said, I would love to come on the show anytime. Oh, damn!
Yes.
After September,
he did say that too. He would like to come on. Yes.
Has plenty of time on my hands after having my second knee replacement. Man, he's a confessing it all. I can come on with Kim once she's released, hopefully in a couple of months' time.
We should.
Anyways, guys, just remember, have fun and not too much wine, Jimmy. So this is not really a confession, as most people know about Kim and me. There you go.
Well, I think we should wait till Kim gets out, and we should have them on, because then they can tell us, like you said, how they met, the feelings they have. Because, you know, some people look down and go, oh, he's gay. But really, if she's identifying as a woman, he sees her as a woman, and they're in love, who are we to judge? Because some people go through life never finding love, never knowing what love feels like. And if he's found love and happiness with this person, I say, good luck to you. Go for it, you know, because some people never get that. So you found it, and now he truly loves her because she's in jail and he's waiting. Most straight people would never wait. They'll be off cheating, but he's waiting for her. So good on him.
I think you're going to blow minds this show, Lee.
So you have to forgive me. So
you lost
trans. I'm all new to this this whole thing.
This world.
So a trans is what exactly? I'm sorry.
That was a man. It was
a man that transitioned to a woman.
So did he get his his chazole off, or he's still on? Or
I'm trying to remember if he sent me a photo of her, and I think she does look pretty much like a woman. I'm thinking he did.
You could assume it's post-op. You could probably assume that. I'm sure the confessor would love to. Feel free to elaborate if you want to clarify for us.
Yeah, I'm not being an asshole. You know, I'm just I listen. Like Lee said, I totally agree with Lee just said. Some people never find love, and you know, if this person found love and excitement and all that with this person, I think that's great. You know, I mean, I just don't. Maybe it doesn't even matter if the guy has it or not. It doesn't.
It doesn't. Fuck gender, man.
Yeah, it doesn't. I guess it doesn't matter.
Sometimes too, I was said before.
Forgive me.
In the beginning,
you're forgiven.
Look at my candle getting very erect listening to this story. in the beginning,
I gotta get some more wine.
in the beginning of a relationship, you know, sex is a big thing, but they could be at that point where yes, they enjoy sex, but like I said, and Jimmy said before, love comes in all sorts of ways. Maybe just being with that person, holding their hand, walking makes them happy and stuff like that. Going to the gym together, training. So we always, you know, when we think of stuff, people go down that sexual route.
Yeah.
If they picture a trans person and a man together, they think what they're doing in the bedroom. Why? It's like that's only one part of their life. They go to the movies. They probably mow the yard, clean the house, go to dinner. There's so many more aspects in a relationship than the sexual side.
Cook together.
Cook together. You know, make sausage rolls, make pork rolls, make cream-filled custard, whatever. You know where I'm going. But, you know,
sounds like Lee's been there.
Hey, Jimmy, to be a person on Cardinal, for me to explain all this stuff, one has to have lived it. So, for
Well,
someone
I
that's
have to
lived
agree
it,
with you 100%.
speaking from experience, because like when I talk about suicide and other things, marriages, married 5 times, that I can relate to all this sort of stuff. It's like the time I had that free Wayne, the guy was down there doing the to me and stuff, and they said, Lee, why didn't you stop him? I said, I didn't want to offend him, so I just let him finish stuff. So,
Similar
and
to
trust me,
Jimmy's story with the
You have to
extremely
trust me,
excuse
large.
me. I just used the
well,
Vatican toilet bowl. I had to go to the
The
bathroom.
that's
Vatican
okay.
toilet bowl.
That's okay.
It's
As long as
forbidden.
you're
You're not
flushed.
allowed.
As long as you're flushed.
All right, yeah.
I
You
just
probably
did.
did it too. Well, we better move on. We have so many more, and I want to do everyone
But
justice.
that confession there is legit. He has spoke to me a few times on Instagram, so I can.
Heck yeah.
That is not made up. That is real.
You know,
I
Lee,
love that.
I have to confess also. So when you come out here, I'm gonna have a pot of sauce ready for you with meatballs and
Ooh.
sausage, because
Now I'm
I've been
hungry.
telling Dave for years that I was gonna
Mhm.
come down there and make the sauce and all
He's
that. But
got a pot of sauce.
I'm gonna do that when you come here. I'm
Sauce.
gonna have the nice sauce.
Well, I'm going to be there
Greg
from the sticks. I'm there
Valentino
from.
says gravy. I hate the fucking expression gravy.
It's
It's not
sauce.
gravy. It's fucking sauce, Greg. You hear me? If you're watching the show, Greg, it's fucking
Yeah.
sauce.
I wonder if Greg watches
Yeah.
It
the
ain't
show.
gravy. You put gravy on turkey. You put gravy on
Yeah.
mashed potatoes. You do not put your gravy on pasta, spaghetti, or
And
rigatoni, or anything, or
gravy's
fusilli.
brown.
It's
Gravy's brown.
fucking
It's not,
sauce, Greg.
yeah.
So I'm gonna make that for Lee when he comes out here. I'm gonna make a nice pot of sauce, some homemade meatballs and sausage. I'm gonna make a nice little pasta. Doesn't matter which kind. And
You
me
know
and
what
Lee
I
are gonna
do
have a
like?
nice
You know
dinner
what I do
together.
like? Whether chicken or beef, I do like a good schnitzel.
Oh, schnitzel. That's German, not Italian, though.
Yeah, but I
I'm
still
not
like it.
German.
I still like it though. I still
I
like
do, yeah.
schnitzel.
I've never had a
Breadcrumb
good.
with
I've only
nice
had like.
All right,
nice
so
and
I'll
thin.
fry up some schnitzel and you can put a little sauce
And put
on
the
it.
sauce on top. Yeah, with some
Yeah, okay.
garlic
We
bread.
could do
I
that.
like garlic. I like garlic bread
They
too,
have a
Jimmy.
German pork store down here. It's called the Forest Pork. Right
There you
down the
go.
street here. It's a German store. We'll go there.
It's
We'll go
called,
there
it's called
together.
get
We'll
what?
get the
It's called
schnitzel.
what? Get porked in the forest. What's it
Forest
called?
pork, yeah, fork in the forest.
Forest pork. I love that. We got to move on. I'm sorry to cut the fathers off. I want to get all these confessions in. Next one. We're taking a huge departure. This one isn't about anything sexual. It is sus, but here we go. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. A few years ago, I was unemployed and had some time on my hands.
Mhm.
I was an avid listener of the Joe Rogan podcast and felt like I wanted to be funny. So I emailed a bodybuilding coach's company asking for them to appear on the show as I pretended to represent Joe Rogan.
Just going back to the Dave Palumbo going on the Joe Rogan show.
Is that what this is?
I think so.
Well, I'll continue
Remember
here.
Dave said someone from Joe Rogan contacted him to go on the show, and that then he said Bob Chicarello.
Oh, is it?
That could be.
Okay, well we'll continue.
Wait, so this is Bob Chicarelli?
We don't know.
No. Bob,
Listen.
Dave blamed Bob for not going on the show. That Bob ruined it, but I don't think it was.
I don't think Bob would pretend to be a representative of the Joe Rogan show.
No, I doubt it. No. Anyways, I embellished on so many things to make myself sound genuine. Excuse me, wine burp. Funnily, the bodybuilding coach was eating up my bullshit and professing how much they love the show. As things got too serious, I thought I was going to get caught. So the little I thought I was going to get caught out because the little details as logistics were requested to be drawn, etc. It starts to get a little hard to decipher here. This got me scraping the barrel to keep the joke going, but I thought I was going to get caught very soon. So I used the name of a bodybuilding MC to advise the offer to appear on the show was cut so the joke would finish. Unfortunately, this is where I went wrong. The bodybuilding coach and the MC then kicked off online at each other for it. I should have said it was a joke, but I didn't because I messed up. Please forgive me.
Well,
what do you think of that?
Lee and I are not here to forgive people. We don't have the power to forgive.
Mm.
But we do have experience in life to share our knowledge and our opinion not as assholes, just a friendly opinion. Nothing, we're not having a
Mm-hmm.
hard opinion that we're saying something bad to you or about you. We're just trying to share our thoughts on what happened. So go ahead, Lee. How do you say about that?
Well, I understand, like you said, he did it as a joke to begin with, but this is where people, this guy included, you have to be careful with jokes. Sometimes they can go too far. Now, in the beginning with this, it was probably a joke, and Dave thought he was going to go on there, and then Bob Ciccarelli got involved, and then Dave thought Bob was the one that messed it up. He couldn't go on the show, and then Bob and Dave had this little feud, and then other people chimed in, hating on Bob, hating on Dave. So sometimes jokes can go too far. People can get hurt. Things can get said. So maybe at some point you might have jumped in and go, that was me. It was all a joke. I'm the one that did it, before it got out of hand. And like, Dave, he just takes it in his stride and that. But, some people can take it too serious. And, from jokes sometimes bad shit can happen because some take it too far. Their feelings, their ego can get bruised, and they'd be like, well, I'll show this person, when this person had nothing to do with it. This little puppet master sitting back here is going, oh, look at them fighting and arguing. So you have to be careful sometimes with jokes like that, where
actual major repercussions.
Yes,
I agree with Lee.
Yeah.
So when you present the joke and people buy into it, and it starts to go and continue, but then you have to have the sense to know if it's starting to go a little too far.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that's when you got to step in right away and say, guys, I'm only kidding. It's me. I made this shit up just for a laugh. You got to cut it. You got to cut it before.
Take ownership.
Yes, before it's like you start a fire in a wheat field, and you throw the match and the fire starts, and then all of a sudden, you did it as a joke, and you see the fire going in the wheat, and all of a sudden the fire starts to get crazy because it's dry wheat, and all of a sudden now you got to put that fire out because it's going to take the whole field. You know what I'm saying? It's the same kind of concept. So you do a joke. It's going, people who are buying into it, all of a sudden you see it start to escalate. You have to stop it. You have to intervene and say, listen, guys,
exactly.
you got to bite the bullet and come.
It'd be okay if he was involved in the joke, but he wasn't even involved. He made two people come clash and heads to head. And then these two people, Bob's followers and Dave's followers, they all got into it. They were going head to head.
Right.
Dave did videos about it. Bob did videos about it. So there was a point this guy should have, like Jimmy said, he should have intervened at some point and said, hey, it's going too far.
Well, that's why I just gave the analogy of a hay field. You start the fire, you think it's funny, but all of a sudden the hay starts to really start going, and if you don't put it out, the whole field's going to start to burn up. So
before people blame him, Billy Joel didn't start the fire. Okay,
it's always been burning.
I'm just trying to use like layman terms on because some people don't understand really that whole
well,
thing.
You know what? That sounds like it was
trying to say some viewers are retarded.
Band. That sounds like it was an insidious mistake that shouldn't have even started in the game. That's like a stupid thing to do. Like it's like completely outside of yourself that you're gonna like pit two people against each other like that. That's crazy.
Cool.
I'm gonna send that to Dave.
And
that confession, I think.
And listen, Lee's got to take that back. We don't think some viewers are retarded. You can't really say that.
We shouldn't even use that word at all.
That's really listen.
Listen. As Cardinal, what word would you like me to use? Special? What is special about someone who drools and can't lift their head up and rolls around in their feces? That ain't special, okay? Getting flowers and a gift of love is special.
Lee, you were doing so well. You were so holy.
Hey, we're all about honesty here, and the Lord upstairs has blessed me with this gift to tell people.
I'll go with special. I'll go with that.
And with that,
your term of special and my term of special are two different things, Jimmy. Okay, special is you making me sauce. I go, wow, that's something very special Jimmy's done for me. He made me this beautiful sauce and meatballs.
Yes,
that's not quite like.
Oh my God. Anyways,
that's not special. But
Tyler.
But carry on.
Tyler, you know that Lee is a little certifiable nuts. You know that, right?
Yeah, no.
That's why
sure.
I can use these terms, because I'm speaking about myself.
He's a loose cannon, if nothing else.
So
he's a goddamn loose cannon.
Yeah,
I'm retarded. I'm retarded, so I can speak from experience.
He's
Okay.
a loose cannon. We got to get back into these confessions before we
hold
totally
on,
derail.
Hold on. So, how are we gonna get derailed?
We already have. I'm trying to get this train back on the tracks. We got some wonderful confessions coming up.
This is the confessional show. The confessional show is me and Lee and you and the confessions, and then me and Lee and you and the confessions, and the confessions of me and you and Lee. That's what it goes.
Hold on, carry on. I'll say my penance while I'm.
Say your rose. Say your Hail Marys.
Yeah,
okay.
We
We have another. We have another romance involving confession.
And Tyler, he's not even drinking.
Bit of a
He's not even drinking. He's not even saying the Hail Mary.
Listen, you better have a glass of wine. Lee, get a glass of wine right now, please.
It's like 8 a.m.
I sounded like I was going into some Navajo chant there for a minute.
Yeah, like Navajo and tongues put together.
Listen, Lee, when you come out here and we do the confessional show together, we are going to be drinking at the bar.
Oh, Jesus.
We are going to be drinking.
4.
We better switch over to X right now, then.
6.
Well, I'll have an Uber standing by to get us back home. Don't worry.
All right. We got 8 more confessions, guys.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
Being a lot of naughty people.
How many did we do, Tyler?
Well, a couple. We got. Who knows?
I think we only did like 3 confessionals.
I know. I'm trying to pepper through here. All right.
So
listen, we don't have.
You guys are so hard to
rename. We can't get to all of them. We can continue them next week.
Yes, no, we can't. We're going to stack up. We're doing this weekly.
Jimmy, we're going to take notes. Let's take notes from the Pope. We're just going to sit here and listen.
All right. Okay, next confession in the group.
Jimmy,
put on your Pope face.
The Pope's watching, Jimmy.
Oh, sorry. Forgive me.
I feel like a middle school teacher. Trying to rein it in.
Jimmy,
listen, I work very fucking hard during the week, okay?
Don't put this on me.
This is my Friday fucking night. I'm doing confessions with Lee and Tyler, and I'm allowed to have a couple of glasses of wine and let loose, okay? That's the way of the fucking world. I break my balls, and I want to have a little fucking wine on Friday night.
He doesn't mean that, Your Honor. He's just having a little lash out. He's had a big week. Okay, he said it's okay. You're still getting promoted. Okay, don't spit out the wine, Jimmy.
Some Pope strokes. You guys are impossible.
Here he goes. I'm trying to keep you promoted here, Jimmy. You're making it very hard.
What are you going to do with that candle? Be careful.
Oh
it's okay. It's okay for Jimmy. He's not standing behind you, Jimmy.
Holy shit.
What ridiculous shit.
I got the man second to God standing beside me.
I'm actually fucking sweating. I'm laughing so hard.
Oh man.
All right, go ahead, Tyler.
All right.
Jimmy,
okay.
I'm sweating. I got the Pope standing behind me. How do you think I feel? My butthole's buckling up.
Oh my god.
I'm just going right in it.
Your Holiness.
Next.
Be calm.
It's okay, sir. It's okay.
Next. Tyler. Next.
I just ended it with my longtime girlfriend. I found naked posing photos in her phone one night, and she said it was just for her personal use. I don't believe that, because it's lingerie photos for sending, and she kept them obviously, and I never got any of these pictures. So and he had like an emoji face looking like the other way, like, you know. And after that, things weren't the same. So I started effing around and doing whatever I wanted. I think she was full of shit the whole time. Yep. She was older, and I think she was just using my younger cannoli. She bought stuff and gifts a lot. We didn't live together either. She would take off. I seen her on Snap Maps going out of he did write it like that. I didn't going out of town one night. I called, texted, no response all night. She did this a few times and other strange behaviors, so I ended it recently. Love you guys. Lee and Jimmy are fantastic. Tell them I said so.
Thank you. And I'm glad this girl, I hate to break it to him because sometimes hearing the truth can be hurtful, but if she's got those photos on her phone, they're for somebody, and she's never sent him one. That's a bit weird. Look, if she had him on her phone,
right? If she sent him them, that's different.
Yeah, if she sent them to him and he's seen them, he could be like, "Yeah, I've seen these," and she just kept them. But if she's taken these sexy pictures and she's never sent him one, she's taken them for a reason.
You don't think? I'll play devil's advocate. You don't think she's like trying to like reclaim her identity a little bit, and she's like, "I'm still sexy, and this is just for me to like make myself feel sexy." You could look
in the mirror and maybe take one and look at yourself and do that. But then, if you did feel that and you did think, you know what, I do look sexy. Well, your next thing would be, I'm going to send this to my man. My man would love this picture of me looking sexy, and then when he comes home after seeing this picture, we'll make mad, passionate love. But she never showed him these pictures once. Has she ever, the lingerie she's wearing in those photos, has she ever worn it for him in person?
That's a good question. Good follow-up question.
Mm-hmm. Because there's something weird going on there. So if he's broken it off, good move. You're better off without it because there's something a little bit suspicious about that. Jimmy, my brother of the cloth, if you found photos of your lady on her phone in lingerie and that you've never seen before, she's never sent to you, wouldn't you say, who are these pictures for?
I have to agree. If I saw pictures of my girl,
also he apparently stole her phone and looked at photos on it without her knowing.
Yeah, so that's a red flag right there.
There's a trust issue there to begin with.
There's a trust issue all over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be done with that relationship because obviously this person is sharing these photos with somebody else because they're not coming to you, and they should be coming to you and nobody else. You know, like Lee said, she should be at work sending these photos to her man. But so by the time she gets home, the guy's going to be all excited. He can't wait to, to be with her because she's been enticing him with these photos all day long. And I've experienced that in the past. You know, that's nice when your old lady starts sending you these pictures, and then by the time you get home, you want to tear her apart.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so
you're ready.
If this girl is not sending pictures to him, that is a red flag. Get rid of her, put her in your rearview mirror, and never talk to her again.
Boom.
Yeah. And it's as the old saying goes.
And don't even second guess yourself.
No. And it's like the saying, you know why the rearview mirror is so small? Because that's behind you. That's the past. You don't need to look at that. But your windscreen is big because you're going, the future, looking forward.
Very good, Lee.
The windshield is so much bigger. You're never going to go forward if you keep looking back. That's the past. Move on. You're welcome. And here's another analogy that I hate when people say, but I'm going to tell you people. I hear it all the time. You only live once. Go do it. You only live once. And I'm here to tell you, the Pope got my back. A little bit too close to my back, but that's okay. But you don't live once, people. You only die once. You live every fucking day. So live every day to the fullest and don't waste the day because you will die. So every time you get up and take a breath, be thankful and go out and take on the world every day because, as I said, you live every day. You only die once. You don't live once. You live every day. So enjoy it.
Hey, and I got to add to that. This is not a dress rehearsal. You can never get the time back.
No.
So continue on. And I'm not saying being a selfish bastard and just shit on people, but you got to make yourself happy, and you got to have a very positive surroundings in your life moving forward. You understand? So that situation there, obviously you looked at the pictures or you found them or somehow and it bothers you and it puts a knot in your stomach. That is reason enough to get out of that situation because you don't want to live with knots in your stomach. You don't want to live with second guessing somebody. No. You don't want to that mysterious what's going on kind of relationship. Get out of there, man.
Yeah.
Get out.
And I know sometimes our minds can think things, but generally, if you're in a relationship and you feel something's not right and you get that gut feeling, generally you're probably on that. So like I said, just
Absolutely.
go with your gut feeling. And like I said, if you got that gut feeling and you're having these thoughts, something's not right, because relationships shouldn't be hard. Yes, you have to work on them. You have to communicate. Not every day is going to be roses, but it shouldn't be to the point where being in a relationship is like a job. It's like, oh, I've got to do this to make her happy. She's got to do this to make her happy. It shouldn't be like that. It should be easy sailing. You love being together. Yes, you're going to have your ups and downs, but it should be, like Jimmy said, smooth, and you love being together. And there shouldn't be this doubt, because if you got doubt there, that's a bad door. You don't want to go through the door of doubt. No.
And you don't want to live in doubt. So my suggestion to this person,
I'd rather live in Newcastle, because doubt's a shitty place to live.
Yeah, doubt is a shitty place to live. It is. 100%.
I think it's near the Bronx.
The next one's an STD confession. A lot of those, would you believe it? A lot of those sprung up from our last episode about Jimmy's little Johnny getting a little cold.
Oh, yes. And Jimmy, very good plug. I'm glad you plugged this show on After Hours, and you talked about your little cold. I did see it. Very good.
Oh, yeah. I forgot I went on After Hours. Yeah, I did. I felt bad because I was getting private messages from fans, because Dave wanted me to post After Hours going live at 1 o'clock, right? So I did. I posted it. And then after I posted it, I started getting messages from people. Are you going to be on the fucking show? What's going on? How come So I was getting all these messages. I was like, oh man, I got to go on now, because I was home that day. I was home early enough to do it. So I did pop on the show, and I plugged our show a little bit, because it is Dave's show too. It's our show, but it's also Dave's show. It's it's RX Muscle. So of course I plugged it on After Hours, and then I talked about the chlamydia a little bit, and it had a great response.
And let me just say, I had lots of messages too saying it was good to see Jimmy on there, but also when Dave made this big we've got a week ban from YouTube, you don't know how many messages I got going, what did you and Jimmy do? Well, I want to tell you, it wasn't us. It wasn't us. Or I. It wasn't our show. It was Dave giving medical advice. We don't give medical advice. We give advice from the Lord, speaking through the Pope.
I think me and you, Dave, Lee, we give more. Dave gives medical because he went to college for he was going to be a doctor at one point. Yeah. So that's instilled in him.
Yeah, I watched Trapper John MD too, and I could be a fucking doctor. So what difference does it make? Trapper John MD. Shit, that's
I think me and you come from a different time. A different cloth. So we tend to go more to sexual advice, instead of
speaking
medical.
of that, Jimmy.
Sexual. We're very worldly. We have worldly advice, Jimmy.
Yes.
Speaking
reality.
of both of those things. On both of those notes, let's segue into the next confession. Let's see if this brings up any other Jimmy stories, or who knows, even some Lee past stories. My confession: I'm roughly Lee's age. Lee, you got a similarly aged confessor.
Okay.
And like Lee, and like Jimmy, he's an Army vet.
Oh,
I was in my
Marine.
Thank you for your service.
Marine vet.
Sorry, my bad. He was a fellow vet.
So what? He takes care of dolphins? What the fuck? What are we talking about?
No, we're talking about the United States Marine Corps. So
that was a good pun. I get it.
I'm very proud that I was.
When you said he's a Marine vet, I thought he worked at SeaWorld or something. My bad.
No, not at SeaWorld. No. This is the United States Marine Corps.
He's like Marine veterinarian. He's doing a play on words.
Once a Marine, always a Marine. I'm very avid about that. That's Marine Corps to me is. I went through hell and back with that place, and
hoorah!
Yeah.
Simplify.
Well, this guy in his youth was stationed in Panama, Central America.
Cool.
That's Army. Yes, that's what that is. That's Army.
He met this little lady and started hanging around with her.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty soon, we're sleeping together. Mm-hmm. One night, we're out drinking. One thing leads to another. We wind up messing around, except tonight's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
She lets me go to the back door. Knock, knock.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, right? Is what he actually put after that. And then here's the next line. Pretty much straight away, my D's on fire.
Oh.
I think I'm in big trouble. I end up going on sick call, thinking I picked something up from the girl. The longer it took, the deeper the burn. Doctor swabs me, which is a nightmare in itself. It turns out he had a pepper seed. It turns out he had a pepper seed stuck in his D hole.
Oh no!
Wow.
Oh, she must have had chili. She must have had chili the night before or something.
Is that really? I guess that could absolutely be a thing, and that's really.
It could be, yes, because when you eat chilies and that, you sometimes when you poo, your bum burns because it does get passed through. So this could, I believe, this story could have actually have happened. But yes, I don't see what he's confessing because he did nothing wrong. He's in love. He's dating her. He went to the back door. He got a little bit of. He got a little bit of fire. He got a bit of fire ant, we call it. He got a fire ant down the old Shazoli. And
I have to say
for a minute though, it could have been worse.
My backdoor fantasies.
I thought he might have got a piece.
For you.
I thought he might have got a piece of like feces and got E. coli, but he didn't. So this is okay.
Yeah,
I'm done with that. I'm done with that.
Oh, he's out. He's just done.
Yeah.
He's gonna leave the catacombs from that one.
I can't. Backdoor thing just got destroyed.
You gotta be careful when you enter the back door.
Yeah. Always ask them. Always ask them. What did you have last night for dinner?
Oh yeah, because that's always romantic.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're going to go to back door, and if you say, "Honey, let's do the back door," and she's like, "Okay," you go, "What did you have?" If she goes, "Oh, I just want to tell you, I had Taco Bell for lunch," you ain't going there. Because it's going to end up. It's going to end up like someone just put an M80 firecracker in a burrito. And
oh man, there's some gross logistics to that one, so we better just move on.
Could have been worse. Could have come out with a corn kernel.
Oh man!
All right. Okay, another STD one. A little different twist though.
What is it with all this? What is it with all this sexual?
Well, come on. What do you expect?
This is good though. This is good because these people could have been keeping this in, but now they've heard Jimmy talk about it. They feel
they can let it out.
Enlightened and open to talk about it. So they're burdening. They're getting the weight off their shoulders.
All right, I'll go with that.
It's cathartic.
Yes.
First and foremost, I'm not going to include your name in pics. I don't actually think there was any pics included, but I didn't say the name, and we want to keep it anonymous. So, anyways, blah blah blah. He's a very open, honest person. It's valuable. Blah. This is a cautionary tale to never just say "F it." I was inspired to give this confession after Jimmy telling a couple of his STD stories on the last episode. See, Jimmy, it's right there in black and white for you.
Okay.
But at one point in time where I was single, I was pretty much having sex with anyone and everyone. And I mean that literally.
Me too.
I was a huge whore. Haha.
Me too.
Stop laughing. Really the Pope's laughing. Look at him.
He can relate.
Stop it.
Because of such reasons, Pope, calm down. Because of such reasons, I always made sure to carry a backup condom in my wallet in case I wasn't able to get to a store or a home before meeting up with someone. Long story short, I was seeing multiple people this one day. I didn't realize I already used my backup condom earlier in the day until I went to pull it out and saw it was there no more. I said F it and F'd it. Haha. Fast forward months later, I'm in a relationship with an amazing girl. She decides one day that she wanted the both of us to get tested. I'd never done that even before. He was 19 at the time. We get it done. It turns out he tested positive for gonorrhea.
Oh man.
We had a talk, and no matter what I said or did, she automatically kept going back to the assumption that I cheated on her because her and I always used a condom together, and she tested negative. I just had it longer than I realized, and I didn't have any
from before. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It didn't have any symptoms other than his pee burning every now and then, which is a red flag. That shouldn't be a common thing. That one experience is why I stayed so paranoid nowadays whenever hooking up with anyone new.
I gotta think about that.
As he might have guessed, we obviously broke up, lol. It turns out I dodged one hell of a bullet because she now identifies this day and cut her. Thank you for selecting my confession, Tyler. And thank you to Lee and Jimmy for giving me the time of day. Please keep up the good work, fathers.
Thank you. Wait,
oh, God, he's right there now. I was reading. Oh, Jesus.
So wait a minute. He said that what happened at the end of the day there? She what? Identified as a what?
I think she just like is no longer identifying as a woman, maybe, and then so he was out because he's only into the all woman. It would appear.
Oh.
Yeah, but that was besides the point.
Mm.
I think we got the gist of his gonorrhea tale.
Yeah. The Pope wanted to sit in on that one. Is that okay?
That was jarring. That was jarring to come back to, man. You guys have the same size head.
Yeah, Lee, that picture's bothering me, man. Maybe put it back a little bit, you know?
You're upsetting Jimmy. This is the man in charge of your promotion. I'll be on, you know.
No, I understand that. It's like I feel like my boss is watching me. It's disturbing. It's very disturbing. You know, we like to work under the radar a little, Lee.
Yeah,
you know, we don't want
in
the boss.
Damn catacomb.
You know, we don't want the boss here. You know what I mean?
Well, he's just coming down to check on us every now and then, Jimmy, to make sure we're doing
it. Put him in the back.
He's just checking that we're doing our job in that, you know. He's just checking on us. It's okay, just stand there, be patient.
So the gonorrhea
STD
story,
when you don't have condoms, that's the moral?
Yes. Or
listen, I understand exactly.
You gotta this day and age with whatever's out there, if you're gonna play the field, especially like Jimmy said before, wear a raincoat because
you might catch a
you don't
little
know where they've been, and sometimes people could have things that are laying dormant that you don't even know about. So
absolutely.
Mm.
That's a great angle for this show. If this show can become like a whole PSA against STDs, I'm here for it. That's great. Yeah. That's fine.
You know, I have to confess, you know, I contracted herpes too.
Oh,
which a lot of people have.
I heard about this on After Hours with the shaving, and Jimmy even spread it when he was shaving.
Yeah.
There's a rumor. There's a long running rumor.
Did I talk about that on After Hours, Lee? Did I talk about
you did? You said you cut the herpes here. You kept shaving and cut here, and it spread. Why the herpes was spreading on your face.
Man. It did. It was horrible. It looked like I sucked off a.
He said he looked like a leper.
You know.
Anyway, to make you know, the moral of the story is, you can't think with the little head. You have to think with the big head. Okay.
Get you in trouble.
How I got the whole thing was when I was with this person back in the day. She was a beautiful girl.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes she wouldn't make love to me, you know, and I took it to personal, you know, and I was like, why don't you want to make love? She was crying, and a couple of times, I let it go a couple of times, and I've mentioned this story before, and so I think I mentioned it on After Hours actually with Dave, and so anyway, make a long story short, you know, one day I really pressed her, and I said, what's the matter? You know, this like happened every once in a while, not like all the time. And I said, I wanted to make love to her. She said, no. And I said, why? You know, and then she says, she finally broke down and cried. She says, I got herpes. And I said, what do you mean you got herpes? What does that mean? And then she pulled her pants down and she showed me the little sore on her hoo-hoo. And I was like, I said, that's what you're crying about? That little blister? She says, yeah. I said, not me, man. And I went right down. I went right down in there. You know what I mean? Like,
Jimmy says, Jimmy goes, herpes. I got AIDS. Herpes is nothing.
I have a little cold all the time.
I was like, herpes. I said, and I said the iron bull don't get anything, man. I just opened up the leg.
Look, I catch a cold every now and then.
The bull is impervious to herpes. I'm going in.
Oh, jeez. We went from like advocating safe sex to promoting herpes. This is just out of control.
It's like, do you know who I am? And
so all of a
my
sudden,
guy's got a little cold all the time.
You know. Anyway, whatever. I ended up getting it. I got it. I've had it for like 40 years now. It's disgusting.
Well, there you go, Secret Stalker. It's on the table now. Are you still gonna? Is he still your Viking?
Well, you know, I have to say, like, a lot of people actually have it. They don't.
Oh, there you go. Look at your candles now. Love it.
Yeah. So, you know, they actually call. You know, when you get a little blister on the lip, some people, if the sun or your immune system goes down, and you get it on your lip, they call it a cold sore. They call, you know, it's like a more of a.
It's still herpes. It's just a form of herpes. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So, that's basically what it is. And, you don't get it all the time. You get it every once in
No.
a blue moon.
A lot
And
of
if I
people
ever
get it when
had
they're
it, I would never
stressed.
be with I would never be with if I had it, I would never be
Oh,
with a person if I had. I'm not like that. I would say, no, I got this. I can't touch you. I got to wait till it goes away.
yeah.
I'm honest.
A lot of
You know.
people that have herpes too, when they get stressed, stress can bring it out.
Yes, stress,
Yep.
too much sun,
I don't even. I don't.
overworked, and your immune system drops. Yes, this is
Mm-hmm.
the yeah.
Yes.
Hey, viewers, check your reputable sites about herpes facts, and don't go from us too about whether or
No.
not it's spreadable
No.
when it's not actually
Right.
visible. Anyways,
Check WebMD.
yeah, I don't know about.
I didn't say it was spreadable.
probably
I said
fine.
that when I have it, I don't want to touch anybody just in case.
Well, I just don't know if it's spreadable when it's not evident, but we're not
No, I don't
herpes
think it is.
experts.
I think it's only, and I have studied this because I was reading about it a long time ago, that herpes generally, it's like Jimmy says, is only spreadable when you're having an outbreak. That's why when Jimmy cut it here, if you touch somewhere else, it can spread like that. So if you do have an open herpes and you are having sex, that's how it's transmitted because of the fluids from it. So if you're not having an outbreak and you're to have sex, you're pretty good. It's not going to actually spread.
And please make sure to fact check that on your own end.
Fact check that. Yeah, fact check
by all means.
And the Pope said when he's not having an outbreak, no boys get it.
I gotta say, man, look at the world we're living in. You know what I mean? It really bothers me. You know what I mean? Like, I understand the whole thing.
Living PC police over here. You can't stand the PC police.
It's a fucked up world, man. That we can't even fucking.
Well, then we gotta talk about checking your herpes facts.
No, listen. I'm gonna say. My thing is to tell people, yes, research it on your own, please.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, that's common sense. If I say something, you're not going to take my word for it. You're going to research it and find out for yourself.
Well, we can't assume. I don't know. You're a source of power, Jimmy. People might just take you for.
Well, that's why I'm saying that you should investigate it on your own and research it on your own. And ask your doctor.
Okay.
Ask your doctor.
I did a video on Instagram the other day saying that if you're hot in the gym and that, you can drink coolant because it will cool you down. But at the end of the video,
fact check that.
I had to say at the end of the video, do not drink coolant, okay? Because there are some people out there that might drink coolant. So look, Jimmy and I are only speaking from experiences that we've had and how we've cleared it up and how we got it and stuff like that. But do fact check us on all this. But you'll probably find it. And Jimmy did say it is a crazy world we live in, and it is. Look. It's evident right here when free men dress up as priests and give out advice.
No kidding. And on that note, we got more confessions.
when free
grown men.
Listen, I also have a little advice. I don't know if we're gonna get YouTube banned or whatever, but you know what?
Oh, very likely.
On the weekend, have a couple of glasses of wine and just fuck it all.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? All right,
we're doing it for a live audience. Hell yeah.
Right.
And that has been proven. A couple of glasses.
Salute to your health, Jimmy.
Make a little sauce, make some fucking meatballs, have a little vino, put on a little Luciano Pavarotti when you're cooking your fucking
sounds so
sauce,
nice.
and fuck it all.
The four tenors, that's beautiful.
Oh man.
My favorite song, I'm going to tell the fans right now, my favorite song is Ave Maria by Luciano Pavarotti.
That.
Well, that's beautiful,
good, isn't it?
I could actually get tears in my eyes
of course
when that song is playing. Yes.
Have you ever heard that group?
When I'm making my sauce in the kitchen and my meatballs, and
I
got the wine going, and I got a little piece of Italian bread, I'm ripping it off, and I got Luciano Pavarotti singing fucking Ave Maria, my fucking start to cry.
That's the most Italian thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's beautiful, because when I know now, when I'm there eating Jimmy's sauce and meatballs, I know that
the salt of his tear.
It will have the salt of his tears in it, and that means something to me.
That means I made it with love and passion.
It does.
Yes. And the thing is, that's good, but if ever that group, sadly, the Spanish guy passed away, Il Divo, ILDIVO. Simon Cowell brought them together, and they sing beautiful opera, these guys together. They've been together now for a long time. I have all the albums. So, Jimmy, look up Il Divo, IL, then it's like another word, DIVO, and they sing all that Ave Maria, and have plenty of songs. I'll have to send you a couple of them, Jimmy. You'll love it. They got great harmony together.
I was actually, at work today, of course. I'm coming back from upstate, in the dump
Mm-hmm.
trailer, and I decided to put Luciano Pavarotti on because you get road rage after a while on the road when
Oh
you're
yeah.
driving.
Mm-hmm.
People cutting you off, people stopping short, people texting, all kinds of shit happens. So I said, you know what? Let me put on some Luciano Pavarotti, and I did. I put on
Mm-hmm.
Luciano Pavarotti and Andre Bocello, and I tell you the truth,
Oh, I
man,
love
my
Andre
ride,
Bocelli.
yeah,
Oh,
Andre
classic.
Bocello, and
That
my
one
Yeah.
song.
and my ride home was beautiful. I
Mm-hmm.
was singing out loud, and
Mm.
I actually passed one of the exits because I was so
Mm-hmm.
involved in singing.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it. Put me in a good
And it's
mood.
funny you say that, Jimmy, because plants love it too. It's funny you mentioned that. There was a story this week on the news here, and the guy was on TV. He lives in this neighborhood down near Sydney, and he's a trained opera singer. And he's been singing to his vegetables and plants. And he did an experiment where for like 6 months he sung to them. And he showed it because he did like the time lapse videos, and he
Uh-huh.
showed like the fruit on his trees and his vegetables. For 6 months he didn't sing, he just let them grow normally. And then the other 6 months, he sung opera every morning to them. And the fruit and vegetables were 3 times the size when he sung beautiful opera to them.
Listen, being that we're men of cloth,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to mention that God created the earth and where we live by the sound of his voice. He spoke. So your words have a great meaning, have great
He said,
effect.
let there be
You know,
light.
yes, exactly. So what I'm telling people is, even in relationships, your place at work, when you speak to people, if you speak with love and you speak kindness, it
Mm-hmm.
does something to people. You know what I'm
It does.
saying? So, we got to be careful with your words because, they call it spelling. Like when you spell word, it's a spell. It's actually a
Mm-hmm.
spell. Your words can actually cast spells on people. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, be very, just watch what you say, watch what you listen to, watch what you watch because it's very, very important. Your brain is like a computer. It's running on electric and it,
Mm-hmm.
it, it transmits and it receives. You have to be very careful
Well,
on what you put
have you
into
ever
your
seen
brain.
those shows where it's like people can have like me, Jimmy, when I walk in a room, I light it up. I have this aura about me, I walk in a room. Granted, some people go, oh, fuck Lee Priest is here, what a dickhead. But most people go, oh, Lee's here, and they get all happy. It's like some people,
Uh-huh.
like when they see Jimmy has that presence. Jimmy comes in laughing, he's happy. People could be feeling down, and when Jimmy comes, just like when Jimmy goes on After Hours, they might be like, oh, it's just John and Dave. And then, but when Jimmy comes on, people are like, Jimmy's here. It's like that presence, the aura you can have for just being there. And sometimes you don't need to talk. Sometimes just being there, Jimmy could look at someone and just smile and nod. And that person, you probably made their day, like the girl watching you at the bar. It's like, who knows?
Well, this is what I'm saying, Lee. So
Yeah,
your aura, your presence, what you
yeah.
what you admit, people
Mm-hmm.
receive it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying, like that gentleman we were talking about before, or the woman, her husband comes home angry,
Mm,
and it just sets the
yeah.
mood.
Oh, yeah.
So
Like that
there's this.
negative ions in the air,
Yeah,
negativity.
it's very bad. So there's this one quarry, there's this one sand pit I go. Quick story, talking about admitting out of your mind vibes
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
so there's this one sand pit I go to out east. I won't mention the name of it, but there's this lady that's in the office. She's
Mm-hmm.
just a total crab.
Yeah.
No matter what you do. As a matter of fact, when I'm heading there, I have to rehearse what I'm going to say and the license the license plate on my trailer. I got to read it 1,000 times because she does that to me because everything she's very negative. So when I
Like she's
pull
like
into
that
the sand
soup
pit,
Nazi on Seinfeld.
huh?
She like the soup Nazi on Seinfeld. Just
Yeah,
like
she's just very negative, very nasty, very miserable, and so she sets the mood of the entire sand pit. So when I'm
yeah.
driving there, I look at the sand pit, the whole sand pit, and everybody working here, like it's just I don't like it because of that
Mm,
one person, man. That one person could do that. So I'm saying that you should live your life in the light,
mm-hmm,
positive, give loving,
yeah.
think love, put love out, never be
Mm-hmm,
negative to people. Watch what you say,
mm-hmm.
watch who you listen to,
Exactly.
watch who you hang out with. It's very, very important, man.
And
Very
that
important.
happens even online. Have you noticed, Jimmy, where we could do these shows, and thankfully all the comments on our confessions have been positive. But when you're on Instagram, you can have 1,000 we love you, we love you, we love you. But that one negative one sticks in you. I don't know why this happens, because
Right.
you can get
Right.
so much love and praise from people. You can be having a great day and people commenting, but that one bad thing happens to you and that can ruin
Right.
your whole day, your whole mood,
Absolutely.
everything. Yeah. So we need to focus
Well,
more on the positive, not the negative.
on that note, Lee, I think that we're creatures of really we were created to be, in the beginning, when Adam and Eve were here, everything was positive. We were in the Garden of
Mm-hmm.
Eden. They ate vegetables and fruit and the animal, whatever God created in the beginning, everything was in harmony. Everything was great. All right. So,
Mm-hmm.
when you get that person that makes that, you can have, like you said, 1,000 beautiful positive comments, and then you got
Mm-hmm.
that one guy that says something
Yeah.
shitty, and
And
it
that sticks
bothers
in
you
there.
because yes, because we're creatures of really we're supposed to be positive human
Yeah.
beings. Everything
But
we
do
admit
you find
and we
it too,
do.
Jimmy?
Yeah.
It's like, especially like if you know someone and you know him and you're like, you know what, I've known him a few years. I don't like how he acts. I dislike him that. But you're probably like me, Jimmy, where you like everybody, try and make people happy in that. And then when somebody is negative and hates you, it's like, why does he hate me? I don't want him to hate me, because you were so worried about this person not liking you that you don't know. It's like, at
Right.
least if you don't like me, have a proper reason that you've met me or something, but don't just go off
Right.
whatever. Because I've had things before where people go, well, that Lee Priest is this, I don't like him. And someone goes, is he? Well, I don't like him either. I'm like, what? Like, you don't even know me and you're hating on me. It's like,
Well, there's a couple of realities of that. I mean, like I have to tell you, I posted on TikTok once, and I got a lot of comments. Oh, Jimmy the Bull's here, right on, blah blah blah. And then this one guy said, "Oh, this loudmouth is here too."
oh,
And it just destroyed me. Like I let it destroy, and I shouldn't let it destroy me, because
Yeah,
you
you're giving him
shouldn't let.
energy right now.
You
no.
can't, yeah, you can't, right,
Don't
exactly.
even.
You can't let people do that to you, man. You
No.
can't. And that goes for, all these people writing about relationships. You can't let people dictate your mood and your
Exactly.
mindset. And it's
Mm-hmm.
horrible to let one person do that to you. So
Yeah.
that guy did disturb me for many days, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm one of those people, like I harbor on stuff, and
Yeah.
I gotta let it go. You gotta let it
Mm-hmm.
go, because life is short. You're not here forever. And in 100 years from now, we're all going to be dust anyway.
Yeah.
So, don't harbor on stuff. Don't hold on too tight to anybody. My grandmother, she was from Sicily. She came over here to America, and she always used to tell me, she said, Jimmy, don't love it too much. She used to say it in a broken English. And I was
Mm-hmm.
a kid. And I was like, what the hell is she talking about?
Yeah.
But, she didn't mean it in a bad way, but she meant, like, don't hang
Everything's
on
temporary.
to somebody too tight. Give them space too. Let them
Mm-hmm.
have their life
Oh.
also. If they said, honey, I'm going to go to the store. Okay,
Exactly.
babe, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Like,
You got to
don't,
let them. You got to let them breathe. You got to let them breathe. You
right.
can't
You got to
smother
let
them.
them breathe
You
and live
can't
their
smother them.
life. Exactly. You
Independence
can't.
is a thing.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely 100%. 100%.
And
So
Independence Day was a good movie.
It was a good movie. Good action.
and the
And
other
on
thing,
that note,
my grandma, hold on, Tom, I'm not done. And then
Yeah.
my
okay.
my
Well,
grandmother used to also tell me, she always used to say to me, she
Jimmy,
says,
lift the
Jimmy,
toilet seat.
what?
She said, Jimmy, lift the toilet seat. Is that what she said?
No, my grandmother was a fantastic woman. So anyway,
Same.
she used to, she told me a couple of things when I was young, and I never really understood them. She used to take a dollar bill and crumble it in her hand, and she used to say, "Hold on to the dollar tight." She says, "Tight," like that, and I really didn't understand it, but later on in life, I understood what she said. But then she used to also tell me, she used to say, Jimmy, your pocket is your best friend. Your pocket is your best friend. And I was like, what is she talking about? My pocket is my best friend. But later on in life, I realized what she
Mm.
meant. She meant that if you have money in your pocket,
Oh,
that's you could do. You have your freedom. You could do whatever you want. You don't need anybody to depend on anybody, because your pocket is your best friend. And she was
when you,
right. My grandmother was right. She was a very, very smart woman, my grandmother.
when you said that your pocket is your best friend, I pictured you having a hole in your pocket and going, yes, it is.
It's your hand that's your best friend.
Well,
Really.
I've done that before. Yes, I have.
Oh,
I
you
actually
played pocket
experimented.
pool.
I actually experimented with that one time.
I just have to leave for a minute. I have to go to the holy urinal. I shall return.
Oh man, and this leaving with this, we can't.
Look,
Jimmy,
I'm full of holy water. I must release some.
Make sure
fair.
you lift your dress up.
I know. How do I pee in this thing?
Jimmy, I don't know if we can cover your pocket pool confession. I feel like that one is gonna test some borders, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is.
Yeah. Am I correct in assuming? Oh man. Oh Jimmy.
Look,
You
Lee left
gosh
us with
darn
the Pope.
devil.
He left us with the Pope, Lee.
Oh God. He's just looking at us.
Oh my God.
Dude, that's so creepy.
It is
I
creepy,
hate
man.
I hate that his life is like
My
to
question
scale.
to you is, where the fuck did he get that thing?
And
Like,
Jimmy,
where do you get it?
Jimmy, it's to scale. It's like dead on to scale. Like that's exactly.
I don't even understand where the hell he
It
got
might even be bigger. It might be bigger than the Pope really is.
He must have ordered that online. You can't just go to the store and get that.
I'm genuinely unnerved.
Unless he got it at the maybe he got it at the costume store where he got the cardinal outfit.
What kind of costume stores got that? Just hanging out.
I don't know. I don't know, man. That's kind of crazy, but whatever. You know.
He looks very Italian.
Who?
The Pope.
He's Polish, isn't he?
Is he Polish? Oh, they look the same. Oh, is that racist?
No, it's not racist. It's just calling out his authenticity.
I'm allowed to say that. I'm allowed to say it because I'm Polish and Italian. It's like my makeup, apparently. So.
Listen, this is what I'm talking about, man. The world's getting a little out of hand with all of this shit.
A little too concerned.
That's
for after hours.
You can't say anything these days without offending someone. But we here, as we said, we don't judge. We listen.
Yeah,
we might give our little opinions. We try to give some advice, but.
Lee, I have to ask you, when you went to the bathroom, did anything burn? Were you okay?
All good. I came out slow because I was holding it in for so long. You know when you hold it in for so long, and then it doesn't want to come out, and I'm trying to push it.
Because it's like, okay, it's going to be a while. I
don't want to push too hard in case I poop my pants, so I didn't want to push.
So I have to confess, I came home from work today, and I had to go. I had to go to the bathroom. You know, number one. And as I put the key into the door. It's like my body knew I was home, and all of a sudden I had to go so bad. And I opened up the door, and I've got my legs crossed, and I'm running to the toilet with my legs crossed. I jump on the toilet, and my Chazole shot a stream right out of the toilet on my underwear, my jeans.
No, we've all been there.
I said to myself, "Gee, what the hell is wrong with me, man? Am I becoming an old man?" I had to get the blow dryer. I actually had to get, after I was done, I had to get the blow dryer and dry off my underwear and my jeans because I had to go out after that. I only own one pair of jeans. You know,
Jesus, get more jeans and put that in the washer.
Maybe Dave can help us because Dave's got the medical background. Why is that? You could be busting to pee, and like Jimmy says, 10 blocks away, you're okay. 8 blocks away, it's like the closer you get to your house, it must be your mind going, I can almost get rid of it. And then without fail, sometimes you're at the door, you got the wrong key, you drop the fucking keys, and the pain's getting worse, and you're like, oh my God, I gotta go. It's like it just gets worse and worse.
You can't run to the toilet fast enough, Lee.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No.
It's like the body is its own entity. It knows that it's home, and it knows the toilet is about 20 feet away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's crazy.
Another reason to sit down. You can just immediately, you don't have to worry about aiming or like not having time
I tell you the truth, I do sit down when I urinate.
We had a whole discussion, all three of us, and confessed, and it was a bombshell.
What's that?
That we all sit down when we piss.
There's a few reasons why you sit down, because you're relaxed, and it doesn't splash. It doesn't splash all over the floor, which I find disgusting. If you stand up and you urinate, it splashes out of the bowl. It goes on the walls. It goes on the big. You know, Jimmy, I find it disgusting.
You're not kidding, because if I go to any dude's house that's a bachelor, they don't clean their fucking toilet often.
No, they don't. You never lifted up the toilet seat. It's got the yellow stain.
It's got it all over. Because guess what? Even if you're aiming well, when you're done peeing, guess what happens? The stream starts to run out, and where's it gonna go? Like it's a joke. I got no shame in sitting down.
Well, you've been to toilets. You've been to toilets where, as you said, it goes to a drip. And the drip will go on the seat, but then it will run down.
You gotta lean forward. You gotta it's a leaning game.
If you look at the bowl, you'll see pee running down it.
Yeah, you sure will. Well, and if you look around the toilet, like you said, you'll see it all around it.
So the best detection is when you go to somebody's house and they have, I don't know, like other states, but you have baseboard heating. Okay, so next to the toilet there might be a little baseboard heating, and it's those things are painted, but in that area where they urinate and they stand up, it splashes out of the bowl and it goes onto the baseboard, and the baseboard in that
Baked on it.
area is all rusted,
It's
and
disgusting.
the paint is all off it because
Oh,
the
it's
urine
disgusting.
splashes, it goes on the baseboard, when I know what it is, I'm like a detective. So when I go to somebody's house and I'm urinating in the bathroom, I see the baseboard, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy stands up all the time and urinates because the baseboard is almost rotten. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's
what's worse though. If I go to somebody's house or even in public, I try and clean it, but I don't know how people, even at the gym, they walk out and they leave shit marks down the toilet when there's a brush right beside the toilet. Even at the gym, if I have to do a number 2 at the gym, which I don't often do, but if I do, I flush and I wait to make sure it's all gone. There's no skid marks on the bowl, because many times I've gone in, there's skid marks or there's shit still floating. And I have to clean somebody else's shit marks because I don't want to walk out and then someone go in after me and blame me for that. So I'm generally cleaning somebody else's crap.
I don't know if I'm using a public brush, to be honest.
I'm the same way, bro. I'm the same way, man. I walk into a public bathroom and I see like urination all over the seat. I actually take a couple of the cloths out of the thing there, and I'll wipe the seat down. Then I lift the seat and I'll go, because I don't want the next person to come in and say, "What? I can't an animal."
I go out and grab, the hand towels where you wipe your hands. I'll go get some of them. I'll put the soap on it, go back in the toilet, and wipe it off.
Yeah, really? Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
I do the same thing, Lee. I do the same
and then
thing.
I'll wipe. Then I'll take the towels, the hand towels with the soap on, and I wipe the door handle too, because I'm thinking, if there's someone's been sitting here shitting, they've wiped their ass, they've gone to unlock the door to get out, they could have had fecal matter on their hands and done the door.
Absolutely, absolutely. I do the same thing. I'll take the towel out of the dispensary. I'll dab it with a little water, and I grab the knob. I wipe the knob, and I walk out of the bed. I do the same thing. I'm very conscious about that.
Very sterile priest.
Yes.
Look at that.
Absolutely.
How about that? And with that, fathers, we got a real fun quick hitter right here.
Oh, all right.
You ready? Dear Tyler, just write to me. I'm 18 years old. Oh boy. When I was in school, I used to hide my answer sheet from my parents that has bad marks and only shows them ones who have good marks. By the way, love the show with 3 legends. You, Jimmy, and Lee, keep with the good work. Oh, tisk, tisk, tisk.
Well, that's not really bad because, I can understand you being young, you're going to school. You want your parents to be proud of you. So you're really doing nothing wrong. Yes, if they ask you to show the grades, you only show them
bad marks?
Not the bad ones. But maybe he's just got bad marks, because I got bad marks in some things like math and that because I hated it. And any subject I didn't like, I just wasn't interested in learning it, because I was training to be just to lift weights. I'm thinking, what do I need to learn math for? Back in the day, I'm thinking, if I got a job on a checkout these days, you don't need to. In the old days, you had to push the button and the little numbers would pop up, and then
you got to know,
they'll give you cash. You have to count back the change, and everything's just beep, beep.
Tells you exactly.
It tells you how much change you got to give back. That's if they use cash, which they don't much anymore. So, there's some subjects they teach at school now. I'm thinking, you're never going to use that in life. And I'd argue with the maths teacher. I'd say, excuse me, X plus Y equals X, Y, Z with the power of 2. I'm thinking, where the fuck am I ever going to use that? It's like, if I go out to become a lawnmower and I mow lawns, as I'm mowing the lawn, am I going to get up to someone, X plus Y equals X, Z? Like, what? It's like, it's stupid. You don't need to learn that. So learn real stuff at school, how to treat people good. Learn maybe, who knows what, learn how to cook, learn stuff like that, stuff that you're going to use in real life. Take kids
practical
to learn how to drive. Take kids to learn the real stuff, change a car tire. It's like learning all this other garbage. You're never going to use it.
I do wish I had like shop class and auto mechanic class. That. And I didn't get those. And I'm like, damn, I could have think stuff I'm learning in my 30s now. It would have been cool to learn in high school.
But cooking and anything automotive, you're always going to use it throughout life.
That's true.
They really don't teach you anything in school. I mean, I quit school in 7th grade.
Whoa.
I went early. I had to get a note.
When when I got to 7th grade, I was bored out of my fucking mind
The
with
You
same.
just quit.
Same.
it became repetitive to me, each grade. And like Lee said, I was like, what the fuck am I going to do with this shit? Science. I'm not going to be no fucking scientist. I read a history. I don't know if this
Oh
history
my
is even
God.
fucking true. The fuck I want to learn this history for? I don't even know if it's fucking manipulated. So this is the kind of guy I was.
That
when I
is
was
true.
younger.
A lot of the history in schools.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
left school at 14. I got a job at 14. And because I was still so young, I was just in second year of high school. At 14, my mum had to write a letter to the school saying that she gives me permission to leave school to go start a job. Because I'm thinking, I had friends that went all the way through, got their high school certificate, went on to whatever, never got jobs. I'm thinking, listen, if you get offered a job and you enjoy the job and you like it, take it, start making money, get out there in the workforce and do stuff. Because so many people get all these degrees, they get in debt to pay for these degrees and their HECS debts, and they still can't get a job these days with all these qualifications. So, it's like, just get out there.
Lee, when I was a kid, my father died in 1972. I was actually 12. I was 12 years
Hey,
old.
look at that, Jimmy. That's why we're close. He died in 72, and that's when I was born. As one leaves, I came.
Yes, 100%. So at that point, I lost interest in a lot of stuff when my father died because I was devastated. So I was in and out of school. My father's best friend Bobby owned a gas station. He started making me wash cars on the side of his gas station for $25 a car. I would wash the outside.
That would have been good money back then. That would have been
that's
good.
not
It
bad.
It
That's
was
good
very
money
good
now,
money.
dude. They pay shit at car washers right now.
Yeah, so I was getting. I was like a shark. I was getting the taste of money, washing cars, and the guys would pay me money to buy a car wash and then dip me. Besides, so I was doing cars, and I was doing raking lawns. I was going around the neighborhood with a rake, knocking on doors in the fall, and raking whole fucking yard in the lease for like $25, and so I bored the shit out of me. I just didn't feel school anymore, So finally, like I reached 17, and I was like, you know what, I got to do something with my life because I was hanging out with going to parties. I don't know if people know what that is, but back in the day, on the weekends, we used to buy kegs of beer and go meet at the schoolyard in the summer and have these giant keg pies, have a
That
bonfire.
sounds so fun.
Oh yeah, and everybody's smoking pot, drinking beer, party, man. This is what we were doing back in the 70s.
Medicinal to our viewers.
I got news for you, Jimmy. It didn't change.
Medicinal purposes.
Yeah, I got news for you, Jimmy. I feel like that was going on when I was getting out of high school too.
Yeah, just huge cake. Sometimes we used to go to a nursery where they grew all trees or plants, and we used to go in the middle of the nursery.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hook up kegs, and then all like 60, 70 people show up with these parties, So I'm going to tell you the story. So one time we were at this junior high school, the one I went to, and we had a cake party in the back of the school, right? So we're all drinking, and we had the fire going, and who brought the radios, we had the music, and girls coming, the whole thing. This is how it was in the 70s. It was actually very cool times, So
I can only imagine.
Streaking was big time, So in the 70s, everybody was streaking. Now you know what streaking is, right?
Oh, yeah.
So,
Jimmy, is this when you caught your cold?
Yeah. so make a fucking long story short. So we're all drinking beer. We're wasted at this point, So my friend Sal decides he wants to streak. So we're all egging him on. We're banging on the we had like these crates that we used to sit on, and we're banging on the crate. Go Sal, go Sal, go. And he takes off goes in the woods. He takes his clothes off, and he starts streaking, totally naked across the field, right? And this is like 1 o'clock in the morning. We're all Bob stoned, and we see him running across the field, right? And all
I'd
of
be
a sudden,
laughing so hard.
This gets better. So all of a sudden, at that time, there was this guy walking 2 German shepherds in the field at 1 o'clock in the morning, right? Because some people walk their dogs late at night. That's just this guy did. So he's walking these 2 German shepherds. So all of a sudden, we see Sal running across the field, and 2 German shepherds were chasing him, right? And he's screaming as he's running because he was He's running across the field, and we see the shepherds going after him, and we're all cheering him on, and we're screaming, you know. It was so much fun, man. It really was.
So he didn't get attacked by the German shepherds?
No, he ran his, so then he whistled and he called the shepherds
when
back.
I was going to say, when you're streaking through a field naked and German shepherds are chasing you, you don't want any part of your body that looks like a sausage flapping in the wind.
No, or meatballs.
No.
Oh God.
a good end very.
You know, I used to be in class, so we used to be on like the, you know, there's wings in school. You got the first wing, the second wing, the third. You know, you have all the classrooms, right? So we were in the third wing, which is in the back of the school, facing the field. You know, where the football was and all that stuff, right? So in the middle of the day, man, two of my friends put paper bags over their heads, right, with the two little holes, and they were totally naked, and they were running across the field in the middle of the day, you know. And everybody stood up in the classroom. We're all cheering and shit. You know? It was just really, you know, it was different time. It was really
wild
good times, man. Yeah, it was really good. House
Y'all
parties.
free.
The end of that story was Sal, after being chased by those German shepherds, is now known as Sally because they caught him. They caught Sal.
Oh my God, yeah. So this guy Sal I'm talking about, you know, his brothers were like bodybuilders. This is back in the 70s, you know. So he used to steal their Diana ball, you know. So Sal was, you know, he was getting huge in the school, you know, and we were all jealous because we were all working out too in 7th grade, you know. And Sal was getting huge. You were like, what the hell is Sal doing? You know, and then we realized that he was stealing the Diana ball from his brothers and he was using it. He was getting tremendous, and we were all very jealous of that, you know. But this is going back in 1973, 74. Phew. Yeah, very, very cool years. Very cool years. You know, man. I got to say, everything back then had like real meaning, like the holidays,
didn't it?
Halloween,
everything.
Thanksgiving was like tremendous. Everybody, all the family.
It's funny you say that, brother Jimmy, because I was just saying this the other day, because we have Australia Day. It's almost like the 4th of July and that. But even Australia Day, that's like when Australia Day really is when we celebrate our independence from England and that type thing, right? We got, you know, but it's like, even though we'd still joined with England, we had our own laws and our own government and stuff. We weren't under British rule, even though we're still part of the Commonwealth. But now Australia Day here has become Invasion Day. It's like all these things that were fun. I was young. I had Aborigine friends. We'd have barbecues. No one cared about the whole thing. But now Aborigine people, they start protesting on Australia Day, saying that's Invasion Day, the day you come together. I think everything's been turned to like some political agenda these days where you just can't even celebrate things. Like even Christmas, we can't celebrate that because that's going to offend these people that don't celebrate it. No, it doesn't. It's like everything now's got to be so, like I said, the innocence of everything has been taken away. And you look back then, it's like, yes, times were tougher because now we have everything you could need. Microwaves that you could heat up food in quicker, washing machines. Like back then when you had none of that stuff, we survived and things were so much better. Like having the most little basic things were so much better. And you still see it today. You go to some countries where they have very little, and I've traveled a lot around the world, and Jimmy's probably seen it too. You go to countries that barely have anything, from the kids to the adults. They're happy. They're happy just having the bare necessities, but they get along good. They communicate. Sadly now, with all the social media and the news just feeding shit into our heads, it's like everything now is just so, I don't know, it's like people watch stuff and they just get depressed and dreary and stuff like that. That's why we're here to bring enjoyment, bring basics back to life. And people, all you got to do is live, laugh, and love. That's it.
And the reason why we could do that, Lee, is because we came from that era. We came from that era. When I used to come home from school, I used to tell my mother, I'm going to jump on my bike and go meet my friends. And we used to go pedal all around the place, go to the mall. And my mother used to say, as long as you're home for 5 o'clock when your father comes home for dinner. And we used to just be gone. And we didn't have cell phones or beepers or nothing. No. My mother didn't even know where we were. We were just gone for the day, you know, on our bicycles. You know? And we didn't wear helmets and elbow pads and knee pads. You know, we were just riding our bikes, man, enjoying ourselves. I was just saying that the other day. Remember you go to the park and you'd have like the rides in the park, the little merry-go-round or the slippery dip. You go down the slippery dip. It was made out of steel back then. And on the hot summer's day, you'd burn your legs going down it. You'd fly off the end and land in the gravel.
you'd hop on a seesaw with your mate on the other end, and the asshole would jump off, and you'd go bang, and you'd fucking crack your ass on the ground. Now they've got all these play areas. They have all that soft, spongy stuff in case the kids fall over, or we don't want him to get hurt, or don't go outside and play. There's predators out there. Look, predators have been around forever. Why do you think you see people now in their 50s, 60s saying they were molested? They've always been around. Let kids be kids. Yes, watch over them, do whatever. But if you taught your kid well, trust in his judgment. And today, everyone's got cameras. There's security cameras. It's much safer for kids to be up today than it was back then. So, you know what? You just got to let them.
But I gotta say, Lee, you know, back in the day, we had no cameras. You know, we didn't have the phones and the videos, all this bullshit, and everybody survived and had a good time. Families were together. We had holidays.
Look at suicide rate today and people being depressed. And I always say this: what are you depressed about? You didn't get the new iPhone. You didn't get the car you wanted. Look, that's life. Life's hard. But back then, you have to remember, our great-grandparents or great-great-grandparents, they lived through an actual time in the world that was called the Great Depression. And they survived. It's like because they worked hard. And the thing is, too, sometimes people get depressed, and they get this because they have too much time on their hands. They're bored. If you're doing something you love and you keep busy, you haven't got time to be depressed and stressed out because you're doing stuff. You're always moving. Your mind's active. It's when you sit there with nothing to do, you go, oh, poor me, feel sorry for myself. Oh, that person's out having fun. Look at me. It's like, get out, change your life.
Say, Lee, like one of my friends, Pat, a good friend of mine, when I was a kid, you know, I used to go over his house. This is going back in the probably early 70s, early, maybe even the late 60s, you know, and I used to go to his house, and his parents, you know, this is later on, like in the evening, you know, like after dinner, they would be sitting in two chairs in the living room, the one chair over there, and the lamp, they had lamps over each chair, and they were reading books. Because there was no internet or Google or all this crap. So they were actually in the living room, both parents reading a book, you know, and I used to go to my friend's house, we'd go upstairs in his room, and we used to go out and
even one better than that, Jimmy, you'd go to people places, your house or your friend's place, and people would actually sit at the dinner table and talk and have meals together, or they'd sit in the lounge room and bring out the board games. Monopoly, fucking hate Monopoly, but you know, they would play board games and like stuff where everyone was together. Now you walk into any home today, mother's there, dad's there, kids there, all on their phone. No one's communicating, no one's talking. It's
really unbelievable.
No one's sitting down at the family table just to talk about life and how
at Thanksgiving we used to have a big dinner, like 30, 40 people, just all kinds of food, you know, and then after dinner, you know, the kids would all go to, you know, play somewhere outside, and all the adults, you know, my father, my uncles, they'd all get together and they play cards till like 2 in the morning, you know, smoking cigars. And
hold on. Generation Z wants to jump in. Yes, Tyler.
Oh, Z, yeah, right. No, I was gonna say, can I chime in for the millennials on behalf?
Yeah.
We're reclaiming the board games. We might have dysfunctional families. Yeah, we might have dysfunctional. We might not have the functional nuclear family, but with our new little family friend groups we create, the board game scene is hot right now.
And isn't it good too when you get into it and then you accuse someone of cheating and you're all fucking just stuck. You
straight up. It gets really physical.
Mayfair. I brought Mayfair. You didn't buy that, you ass. I'm not playing anymore. And you kick the fucking board game and you leave the room.
Nah, it gets intense. To the point that Samantha, my wife, actually does Dungeons and Dragons every Wednesday night, weekly. I was doing it for a while, but then other obligations.
I'd say bring back the board games. Remember Battleship and all those things? And
I remember
you sunk my Battleship.
Yeah.
I love Battleship, man. I used to play that when I was a kid.
B6 to B7. B6 to B7.
Yo, we used to play. We used to play. Remember Rock'em Sock'em Robot? We used to.
Oh, I loved that. I played Rock'em Sock'em, man.
We used to. Yeah, that was great. You know,
this is the
kind of shit we did. You know, we used to build log cabins, me and my brother. So we used to build these giant log cabins, right? And then we used to have army soldiers, and we used to have war. And you know, we built a log cabin on one side of the living room, and a log cabin on the other side. And then me and my brother would put a little log in the middle with a stick, and then you launch soldiers, you know. And we used to blow each other's log cabins up, you know. This is the kind of shit we did back then, you know.
Speaking of soldiers, I was in a store yesterday and they had a lot of movie stuff, and I'm there and I'm like, oh, I could buy it. They had like the Transformers, the Optimus Prime, beautiful truck that turns into a fucking Optimus Prime. And I'm thinking, I remember back when I was young, Jimmy probably had them too. We had those figures like soldiers that didn't even fucking move. They stood there like this, holding the gun,
Right.
and their feet are on that little bit of plastic, and you
Yeah,
move them
I had
around.
those.
Yeah.
That one soldier,
Those little crappy
soldier cut,
plastic soldiers.
Yeah, it had a little plastic platform on the bottom. Right, yeah.
But what about the one soldier cut that's always laying on his belly with the rifle like a sniper?
Yeah,
right. Vividly.
Our action figures didn't even fucking move. They were just stuck, and they were all green, all the same color.
And that's what me and my brother used to do. We used to stand up a bunch of those soldiers and all that on one side, and then on the other side of it, and then we used to like bomb each other, you know, and then they go watch the soldiers fall down and shit. Meanwhile, they just solid figures, you know.
Yeah. What about the one when you finally got? I thought this was the greatest thing. You got a soldier, and he came with the parachute. And you could
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that.
Yeah. I remember that.
That's the one. That's the one. I would save my fucking tickets up at the arcade to get that. It was like, oh, the parachute soldier, man.
And how upset were you when he landed on the roof? When he landed up on the roof.
Or you would rupture his little like grocery bag parachute. You know, you'd tear it.
Kids don't know what they're missing out on these days. They were great.
Oh man, there was some fun.
You know what it was?
Reinventing those toys, though.
Did you ever get this one, Jimmy? My mum brought me the bag of farm animals, and you get the fence. You had to connect the fence together, and I put the little cows and the pigs behind the fence over here, and I had the little farmhouse over here, and I'd bring the cows across to talk to the pigs. Oh.
You know what it was, Lee? I mean, look, I know times are different. I'm not knocking the times today, but you know, when we were kids, man, you had to use a lot of imagination, you know.
Exactly.
And that's what I think. That's what people. I think that's what people are missing today is the imagination of creating.
Well, exactly.
And,
even look back to something as basic as when I was young and I found the Playboy under my dad's bed. And here's this woman with boobies and a bush. Whoa. Like it was. They still had hair back in the day, and now I'd get that. I'd show my mates. Oh, look at this! Look at a bum and a hair. That's all we got was a Playboy book. Now you go on the internet and there's 1,000 categories of all this whatever. It's like mind blowing.
Yeah, no kidding. It sure is a different time. All we had was
a Playboy magazine back in the day. You had to
There's something to be said about that. It's like
there is something to be said about it. You know, we lost. Listen, as a human race, we're losing something here. We're losing something, you know.
You know, Bo Burnham said
we're losing our humanity. We're losing our connection with actual people, and that's the thing. I don't think they want us to have connection because they're dividing us. And it's like I said, people are in their own little worlds now with their phones. That even like you look at kids now, they can't communicate because they're all doing this. Like actual communication, actual sitting around the dinner table. Out at dinner, when you see families out at dinner, they're all doing this. It's like, come on, people, get back to the basics. Yes, you can have all the technology, but you need to have times where you just get rid of technology and just be in the moment with the person.
I agree. Family, you know, I have to say something too. We are living right now at our age. You know, I know Tyler's a little younger than us, but not by much. But you know, we really are living in times of great change. Like we're right in the middle of it. You know what I mean? It kind of some of it is kind of fantastic, but some of it is not. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm listen. We're men of cloth. I believe in God. I believe in that. We're heading into a whole new awakening, and I think this is going to be the time, people. This is going to be the time where you're going to go either way. You know, you're going to go towards God or you're going to go towards the other guy, because these are the times now they're going to wake you up and you're going to see things that you never saw before. All right. And if you're with the Lord, you are going to start to see things of biblical proportion, and you're going to go towards the Lord and not towards the other guy, because these are the awakening times right now. We're in the middle of them right now. That's my
and I'm all for, like I said, I'm all for technology, but then sometimes I think, you know what, with all the technology we have, it was good back in the day when you had the VCR player and the VHS. And,
I got mine right here.
Little things were happening, but now I think technology is moving way too fast. It's like, fuck, I just get the iPhone and next year a new one comes. It's like, do we really need to keep changing the fucking iPhone? What's different? Or this one has a big megapixel camera on it. Who cares? It's doing what the other one did. Slow down. Let's slow down this advancement of shit. Let's just get back to living on the land. Oh, people couldn't even live off the land anymore, sadly. So
I think, Lee, that the new phone that comes out the next year, they already have all these new phones already.
Forget about it.
And I get annoyed too when I see all this virtual reality stuff where people put these things and go, but it's like, why do you want to go in virtual reality when there's so much beautiful real life shit out there that you could go look at? Go for a walk through the bush, go walk down to the beach, look at the ocean, sunrise, sunset. It's like, why do you want to lock yourself in this world of like the Matrix when it's just in your mind? Go out and experience it. People sit online chatting to each other, playing games. Why not go out and play with real people in real life and talk to people?
Well, that was like, you right now, what you're saying right now reminds me of the movie Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. When he used to go to this facility, and they used to put him, you want to take a vacation, you pay. And, it's kind of similar to that. It's kind of scary because they simulate movies of what's really happening in real life and what's going to happen in real life. They put it into the movies first. And that movie right now is what you just said. The virtual reality stuff was in total. What year what year did Total Recall come out?
That's going back to the 90s, is it? Early 90s.
Yes. So here we are. Now they have these virtual reality goggles you put on, and you could do this whole thing. But Arnold Schwarzenegger was doing that back in the early 90s in the movie Total Recall, which was scary.
Life always imitates art. It's like when I was talking to Dave on Iron Rage where they did the DNA samples of those alien bodies, and they said, look, these are proper DNA bodies that could be thousands and thousands of years old. I'm thinking someone's got a time machine because The Simpsons is always predicting the future. So I think someone's been there and come back. And when you look at those bodies they showed, I said, these look like E.T., like a mummified E.T. So maybe whoever this person was who's seen these real aliens, that's what they based E.T. on. These aliens aren't based on E.T. E.T. was based off these real life aliens because someone had already seen them and been there. And how many times, like, remember Minority Report, Tom Cruise stood there with that glove and he's doing this and he's moving the screen around. Everyone's like, oh my God, wouldn't that be great? What do we have now? That big computer screen, you put on a glove and you can just move shit around. It's in the air and stuff like that.
Yeah, but the other scary thing with that movie, Lee, is that they were predicting that if you were going to commit a murder, they already knew about it before you even committed it. That's kind of, they're really digging into
talking about shit like that now too. They're talking about.
Yeah, they're really digging into the brain and how. So, this is what I was trying to explain to the people before, is that your brain is like a computer. It's a receiver. It's a transmitter. It runs on electric, water and blood, and it's a biological computer, and it's very scary how these movies kind of relate to our future events, and how do they know that? How do they know what our future is going to be? Because these movies relate to that.
And it's like, as you're saying, you're comparing our brain to a computer, which is true. And the worst thing for our brain is sometimes, with all the internet we have now and TVs and everything, I said, sometimes too much information is an overload on our brain. People can't handle it. They can't handle sometimes seeing the negative shit, seeing what's happening in the world, around the world, the people in other countries, seeing what's happening here, seeing how people are treated. Sometimes when you see all this bombardment from technology, our brain can't take it all in because we can't compute so much information just going boom, 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 boom.
So
and half of it's bad.
I'm going to go back to what I said before. In the scriptures, God says, be careful what you put in your mind, because when you put too much in your mind, especially all this worldly stuff that's going on, you can't really change it. So, try to limit the information you take in, because you could actually start to get depressed, thinking about all of this stuff. And I know a lot of people, yes, I know a lot of people right now that, call me up and they say, Jimmy, why even fucking bother? Why even bother going to fucking work? Why even bother starting a business? This is the attitude people are starting to take because of what's going on in the world. And I always tell them, listen, man, go ahead.
I'm even going to say, it's like, I'm sure you've had the thought. I even had it like probably a month ago. I snapped out of it. I'm thinking, I was just watching the news and people fighting over this, people of different races and negativity. I'm thinking, sometimes I thought just for a second, I thought, fuck, I've had a good life. I wouldn't care right now if my life ended because this world's crazy. I fucking want to get off it because it's going down the shit. But then I thought, no, Lee, you must stay here and be the voice of reason with Jimmy and everybody else so we can keep people on the, just let them know it's not too bad. We're here. We all have the same thoughts. But sometimes when you're watching all this shit going on, you're just thinking, where are we going to end up? That, like I said, we need to communicate more and just be nice with people. Like I said, we're all becoming like in our own little worlds now. Like you go out walking and you say hello to somebody. Sometimes they look at you like, are you talking to me? I was like, I just said hello. It's like, they look at you like, why are you talking to me? I'm like, in the old days, I'd go walking with my grandfather down the road for a 20-minute walk. We'd be gone for 2 hours because you talk to everybody, stop and have a chat, everybody. And it was great. You'd tell stories and how you going and this and the next thing you know, you're talking to this guy. Oh, let me go inside. My wife just makes some cookies. Here's some cookies. Take them home. Like everyone was so much friendlier. You knew your neighbor. So many people now don't even know their next door neighbors and they'll be living there for years. That's just like mind blowing.
Technology.
Well, the house I'm living in now, I'm here over 10 years. I don't even know my next door neighbors. So, this is what I was saying before, Lee. Times were different when we were younger, man. And, this is like, listen, our show, The Confessionals, yes, it's fun, it's entertaining. But I also think that it's kind of a necessity because, we're sharing our own life experiences with people. People are writing in, telling us about the stuff they did. And we have a conversation about it. We're not here to opinionate or judge anybody, but we're just here to elaborate with the stories that are coming in, and we really appreciate the stories that are coming in. And we want you to continue to write the confessions because this gives us, the material to keep talking about it and keep and I think it actually helps people to level their mind.
Even though we call it the confessions, and we get some crazy confessions, people, please write in too. If, like I said, maybe you have a problem, maybe you have something on your mind, maybe something's eating at you and you just want to talk about it. So look, if you have any type of thing like that, it doesn't have to be, I did something bad. You could just be like, listen, I've been feeling this way. Is it normal? Or this happened to me? Or I've got these strange thoughts where I want to hurt myself. So look, it can be anything. It can't just be confessions. It could be like, if you don't have anyone to talk to and you want to talk to someone, write to us and we'll read it and we'll talk to you. We're not going to judge you or whatever. But so if you think you can't talk to people close to you, talk to us.
I have to elaborate on that, what you're saying, Lee, because, listen, most people some of my cousins and my brother, they actually lived through me vicariously because I traveled the world. I did shows on the stage. I met a lot of people. I've done a lot of stuff in my life, work. I've rubbed elbows with a lot of different type of people. I'm going on 64, believe it or not, in November. So I have a lot of experience in my life, and I've touched on a lot of stuff. So that's why, if people write in and they tell us, like you said, don't have to be something bad they did, just something, maybe it's the way they're feeling about something, and we can help you, get through it or feel better about it.
Something good happened, if something good happened to you, or you did something nice for somebody, please tell us those too, because we like those stories where you've helped someone or someone was in need and you helped them out. Please, we'd love to read those as well.
Absolutely, 100%. So this is really about real life stuff. So
look at that, Baxter.
It's Baxter, and you know what that means. You know what that means. We gotta get to the rest of the confessions.
Oh, we forgot about you, Tyler. I'm sorry, bro.
No, it's cool. No, it's all. Listen, it's your guys' show. It's the Pope show. It's all for him. It's all for Baxter, really.
Yeah, we've been going.
Is that a Shih Tzu? Is that a Shih Tzu?
Schnauzer. It's a Schnauzer.
Oh, the Schnauzer.
Oh, he's fixing his eyebrows right now.
We've been going 2.5 hours. We're going good.
They say that the dog looks like the master after a while, and I have to say he has some resemblance to you.
Yeah, we both got blue eyes. He scares a lot of children with the way he looks. But but listen, we got this next one.
Wait, how long has the show been going?
For a minute, and that's the only reason I chimed in is because we've still got 4 more, and they're really good. They're really good.
We got to talk. Read it out. We will only talk at the end of it. Go.
Okay. Very good. Good evening, priest Tyler, Australian priest. priest, an Italian priest, Jimmy. First of all, this is not a troll, but a very true story. Good luck not talking in the middle of this one. And I'll get right to the point.
Yeah, we're not.
I have a very strong sexual attraction to my first cousin. I've had this for about 6 to 7 years.
Wow.
I'm 10 years older than her and started gaining this attraction towards her by the time she was 19. I think about her all the time and envision myself having sex with her. I performing acts and engaging fetishes frequently. I have a foot fetish, by the way. I'm constantly thinking about her feet and my face. I've even smelled her shoes at her house when no one's looking.
Wow.
Well,
Is that the end?
For some strange reason, I feel no shame in doing this. Perhaps my strong attraction towards her overpowers the shame. Now, I've thought about telling her how I feel, but I'm afraid of the backlash I'll receive. Yeah, I know it's probably better to say nothing at all, but if I do, it may tarnish our relationship forever.
Wow.
Also, if word got out, my family would never look at me the same, especially being Italian himself, Sicilian.
Wow.
Jimmy,
Holy shit.
Priest Jimmy would know about that. Anyway, should I keep my feelings to myself or confess this to her on a mature manner? For more context, she has a boyfriend and lives with him, so I can't see us dating anytime soon. You're cousins! Though I'm aware the chances of that happening, even if she were single, would be slim to nil. Thanks for reading, Tyler. Of course, man. Love the show. Hope it goes on for years to come. Oh, me too. Cheers to you, Lee and Jimmy. P.S. Tell Jimmy to keep his head up. Keep his head. Oh, sorry. I thought it was heads for a second. I want to make sure.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Whoa. That's the bombshell confession of the night. So,
Well,
go.
I don't know, Lee, you want to go first?
Well, I'll let you go in depth. I'm just going to say first cousin, she's got a boyfriend, she's living with him. Your feelings are strong, I can understand, but as they say, some things are best left kept to yourself, and I think this could be one of them. Look, now, generally, if she had an inkling, and you can tell if somebody likes you and they're playing back and forth and there's feelings there, but to me, it just seems like it's his fantasy, it's what he's thinking, and I think telling that to her could make everything so awkward in the family that it's best to not say anything. Go out and look for a girl that looks similar to your cousin. That's what I say.
Oh, man. Jimmy, what could you say to that?
Well, I have to say, I'm pouring my sixth glass of wine over here.
Yeah, I'm on number 3 or 4 at least.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting hammered. So anyway, I have to say that is a very, very interesting concept there, because
thank you for your honesty, your confession.
Yes, thank you for your confession. And I have to say, back in the day, people used to marry their first cousins.
Exactly.
Straight up. What's back in the day? We talking like 1700s or like 70s?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, 1700s.
1980.
No, it's a fact. People used to marry their first. There was no frowning on marrying your first cousin.
Well, I was in school in the early 80s, and just to chime in here quickly, this new girl came to school, blonde, athletic body. Everyone's like, oh, who's going to date her? Who's going to date her? And we got flirting, and this one thing led to another. We'd go down to the park, we'd have a little kiss. I'd play a little finger pop, you know what I mean? That's as far as it went. So he's just sort of kissy finger pop.
Was this your cousin, Lee?
I'm getting to that, Jimmy. I went to a family reunion. And at this family reunion, I turn around and there she is. What are you doing here? Oh, I'm related to the Hardses. So am I. So we were like third or fourth district.
Okay. Well, that's a little different.
I was down, but once we found out that, then all the kissing and finger popping stopped, which was really sad because she was really good looking. So
dang. That's a good confession. Jimmy, any cousin love?
I haven't really had any cousin love, but I mean, I'll be honest with you. I can listen. I had a crush on one of my cousins years ago, first cousin. So I could definitely relate to that story, because I had a crush on my cousin for years. I never moved on it, but I could definitely relate to what he's feeling.
Well, thank you for sending your confession in, Jimmy. I'm glad Tyler read it.
What are you trying to say?
I just said this sounds similar to what he just read. Your confession about your first cousin. I'm just saying.
Well,
Never made a move, but you're very interested.
I'm elaborating on what the guy just said because he wants to know if he's fucked up because he has feelings for his cousin. Was it the first cousin or the second cousin?
Yeah,
Tyler?
first.
Okay,
First cousin. So
I'm saying that I totally.
Cousin. How many states is that illegal in? While you talk, I'm gonna research that because a lot of states it's legal to marry your first cousin. I learned it on Community.
Yeah. So first cousin, second cousin.
Flag me on Google.
I listen. I don't know. I don't think. I tell you the truth. Really, in reality.
Okay, that was easy. Florida, surprise. Georgia, Connecticut, Colorado, Alabama, surprise. Alaska.
Alabama? What? It's illegal in Alabama?
No, it's legal. You're allowed to marry your cousin. Yeah.
A lot of stuff happens in Alabama. I was going to say, geez.
Basically, like all the South, Florida, Georgia,
Wow.
Alabama, but then you got California, Alaska, District of Columbia, Connecticut, Colorado. Did I ever say that?
Yeah, Colorado. Aren't there a lot of Mormons in Colorado?
Do Mormons marry their first cousins a lot?
So listen, I have something to say about that. So if it was mutual and your first cousin felt the same way about you, I don't see anything wrong in it because
I don't either.
Yeah, because she's blood.
It's quite the gamble.
You have a. It's not a gamble. You have a lot of
lose your family potentially.
Yeah, but if you're in love, Tyler, sometimes love, if it's a strong love and you both feel it, how can you deny that love between two people? And it's like, just say they had that feeling and they knew coming out would destroy their family or they wouldn't talk to them, but then for the rest of their life, they never find that love or that true happiness and feeling. That could have been
them their whole life.
main one. So they just go through life looking for that same feeling they would have had if they were together. And sometimes your decision might not be popular with everyone, but you've got to do what's right for you. And if these two people being together is what's right for them, sometimes you might have to get together, move state, make new friends, because sometimes family isn't just blood.
Well, listen, I can personally understand that note. This is just uncharted waters for me.
So can I finish my fucking story?
Of course, Jimmy.
Sorry,
Thank you.
Okay.
Please.
So
Full screen.
I don't think anything is wrong with it. I think that, to fall in love with your first cousin or your second cousin, I think that's really something special because you do come from the same family. You have there's a whole different understanding and feeling between each other because you are family, but you're not direct family. It's not like your sister.
Well,
it's a cousin, or a second
related.
cousin. Maybe it's your cousin's daughter. It's your second cousin. So I think
we're talking
I think
first, Jimmy.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's not even the first cousin. It doesn't matter. So I think there's like to me, I think that would be, I mean, I don't have a cousin that I feel that way about, but I don't think there's really anything wrong with falling in love with a first cousin.
It's not like Norman Bates.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I really don't. So that's my opinion on that.
Absolved.
Yes.
Absolved. Easy as that.
So do I think that he should make a move? The only reason why I don't think he should make a move, excuse me, is because she's living with a guy,
Yeah.
So if she was single and he still had these feelings, I don't think there's anything wrong with him reaching out and saying, "Listen, can I be honest with you? Can we talk? Can we meet for a cup of coffee? I have something I want to say," and go out and meet her and then discuss your feelings about her.
Yeah, I suppose if there was any way to go about it, that would be appropriate. I guess.
Yeah.
It's a risk to gamble because it could backfire, but hey, it depends how strong your feelings are, and if you got to get it off your chest and say it, sometimes you got to say it.
Listen. You
might fall in love with a different girl.
You meet a stranger. Like you say you bump into some girl at a train station, you fall in love and you get married. Yeah. This is different. This is your first cousin. So you have a lot of familiarity with the relationship.
It might be a taboo thing that's turning them on too, Jimmy. Like the taboo nature.
It could be a taboo thing because it's not really.
It's a Sade song.
You shouldn't do it. But then again, you have a lot of
Sweetest
family.
taboo.
You have a lot of family ties and blood together, and it could turn out to be a special kind of a relationship. So.
Did the Pope just say something to you, Lee?
He just look at me. He just sort of made a noise. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I saw you look back and I was like, oh shit, the Pope just said something.
I know the Prince of Kuwait's coming to visit you later, okay? I know you got a busy schedule, all right, but so are we. I'm glad you've stayed this long. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, and on that note, we better get to this next one. This one's a big one, but a goodie. Oh boy. Let me just go ahead and unpack it right here. Dear Father Lee, the Reverend Jimmy, and altar boy Tyler, please forgive me. Forgive me as I have sinned. Try and make it as short as possible. I am from Australia, standing upside down, not far from Lee, really. This was around 10 years ago now. I was out one night with some of my contractors. I work in construction, and I can't do an Australian accent. And they took us out on a big night, all costs covered. So we're in the city at an exclusive club, drinks flowing, private table, bottles of vodka, cocktails, you name it, all over the place. Girls are coming up to the table all night trying to sponge free drinks. But there was two girls in particular in matching dresses. They've been at a wedding and were bridesmaids. One sat next to me and I was getting them whatever they wanted. She had this rose flower tattoo going all up her leg, and she put her legs on me, and I said, How far does that tattoo go? And she replied, "Want to find out?" I immediately said, "F yeah." She then leant over and said, my friend and I want to try fellatio on you. And I think he tried to censor that for us, and it's very funny. Thank you. And it's also very funny to say. Can you say that in Australian accent, Lee?
What's that?
Fellatio.
Me and my buddy were out at the club, and here we were. These two girls come over, and she wanted to try fellatio on me. And I said, "Crikey, you want to what?" She goes, "I want to try fellatio." I said, "Oh my God, fair income, that would be great."
Basically, that's how it went. He said, F yeah. She then leant over and said, oh, sorry, we're there. My eyes lit up and I looked at my mate who was shouting the night. I said, "I'm not going unless he comes." Oh, so he's like backing up his friend, and also like, You just got the okay for two girls, and then he wanted to include his mate. That's like, if that's not bro love on a new level, I don't know what is.
That's a good friend.
That's I
would have left him out.
I know, me too, Jimmy. Anyways, that's what he said, and he said, "I'm not going unless he comes."
Marines don't leave men behind, Jimmy. You don't leave men behind.
True Australian.
In that situation, I do.
I know, right? Anyways, they looked at him and they said no or no. They dragged me out the club, and I was about to walk to their hotel, but outside I thought, "Nah, I'm here with the boys," and he's staying. I walked back in and said, "See you later." We were then downstairs. I was leaning on the bar, drinking, having fun. It was like Moses parting away in the sea. The crowd was moving away, and these two girls came back into him. The tattoo leg girl unzipped his fly and pulled his old fella out. You can say that in Australian too. Pulled my old fella out.
And she pulled my old fella out right in the club. I was like, "Crikey," and she started going down on me. Oh, it was so bonza the way she put her mouth around it, grabbed it, and started stroking it like it was a dead crocodile laying on the side of the road. That's why me kangaroo down. Let me get my little man out of the kangaroo pouch. And she came over like a koala bear and grabbed a hold of it.
Koala bear.
It was crazy, right?
That's so much better than what he wrote, but basically the gist of it. And then at that point, she whispered in his ear. At that point, she whispered in his ear and said, "Let's go F."
Oh,
wow.
So what is a man to do? What is a man to do, Father Lee and Reverend Jimmy? As a man, all I could do is just follow them out. See you, boys. I'm out.
Well,
at that point,
I do not see a sin or anything bad here. He was out.
Well,
they're all consenting adults. He's with his friend. They're drinking.
No,
and
I know.
The girls come and they ask for it. Him saying no could have offended the girls. It could have hurt their self-esteem. So by him saying yes, made the girls feel good. He felt good. It's a win-win. Yeah, he had to leave his mates for a moment, but they were still there when he came back. So it's a win-win. I don't see anything bad in that, Jimmy.
It goes on.
Oh. More?
Yeah.
More?
Yeah.
Well, I have to agree with Lee. What Lee just said. I don't see anything wrong with it.
It takes a turn.
Oh, here we go.
On the way to hotel, I pop a blue pill I had in reserve for emergencies just like this. You guys are familiar. You guys are familiar both.
Oh, yeah.
We got back to the hotel. They stripped me naked, threw me on the bed, and then they both started sucking my shazola. He's catching on.
Wow.
It was great. I stripped both of them naked. They had freaking hairpins and shit everywhere to take out. And then just started to F them one at a time. Just was one, then the other, like a machine, a rock hard machine could go for hours.
Wow.
Fucking robot.
Fucking robot. I had to go for a leak in the toilet, remove the rubber, went to pee, then put another rubber on, went again for another 30 minutes. I was covered in sweat. They were too. He couldn't blow.
My hero.
He couldn't blow. And then he said, F this, I'm out of here. So, man, there's like that, oh, damn, all that awesomeness, and you couldn't even, like, climax? Wow. Anyways, towards the end of it, he's getting dressed. Tattoo girl was looking at her phone and said his name. Are you married? His heart sunk. He said, no. Got dressed, said goodbyes, and got the F out of there. Truth, but guys, truth is, Father Lee and Father Jimmy, he is married with kids. He was having a shit time at home, no sex life, sleeping in separate beds, etc. And when these two hot-looking girls wanted a threesome, he couldn't resist. It was pretty much a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. On his way home in taxi, he said, I deleted Facebook, Instagram, and had a shower at home to wash the guilt away. Had to explain to the wife that the phone got hacked, so he had to delete all his Facebook and shit. Hoping to the sweet Lord no message came through from the girls. Still to this day, it was a great experience. Marriage is now solid, he says, having sex often and things are going well. He wasn't looking for anything when he was out, but the opportunity was there, and you only live once, right? Please forgive me, Father Lee, the Reverend Father Jimmy. Cheers, guys. Really enjoying the show. And it is a true story.
He's going to have to do a lot of penance to make up for this because, look, no matter how bad things are at home with the wife or the girlfriend or that, that's still no excuse to cheat and go do that. Look, if you're at home and there's problems, you try work it out. You talk. You try communicate. Now he says it's good. But still, if it was bad and it became good, I don't know about you, Jimmy, but me doing that, I'd have that eating at me back on my mind. Like I said, when I cheated on Kathy with Adela, I had to go tell Kathy and it destroyed it. But because it was eating at me, and even though Kathy and I were getting on great, I'm thinking, fuck, I cheated on you. You don't know it. And we're all happy. And then it's like, I can't live like this because it was eating at me like a cancer inside. It's just,
and he didn't even climax. He didn't even finish. But it's just like,
he shouldn't have done it
because he was guilty. That's why.
It must have been on his mind still that his wife was at home, and it's a hard one because now if he does tell the wife, if the guilt comes out, no, it'd probably ruin it. They'd break up.
Go well.
Maybe keep it to yourself. But you know what? Go to church, do whatever, pray, say a few Hail Marys, and ask for forgiveness because, especially try forget about it because it's just going to eat at you, and it's just going to. Like I said, you can't really do much about it now because if you tell us, you'll be like, when did this happen? Or now you tell me, and then this and that. It's like something now you've got to live with. And then hopefully living with it, that guilt you feel and the shame teaches you a lesson to never do it again. And feeling that way, imagine if she did it to you. So it's not a nice feeling. So
that's true. Oh, yeah. Put yourself in
and like I said, there's always going to, and saying they were beautiful, look, there's always going to be temptations out there. But the moment you commit to a person to be with that person as your wife or your girlfriend, that is the person you should be with. It's like, you can buy a nice car. You're always going to see another nice car. You're always going to see a pretty girl. But it doesn't matter. You don't act on it. You just stay with that person you love and you're with and give them that attention. Or even if you've seen these pretty girls, keep that image in your head. Go home and bang your missus while you're thinking of them. She doesn't have to know what you're thinking about. So, but acting on it, you should never act on it if you're in a relationship because it's never going to turn out good, no matter what.
Just super quick interjection. That hit different for me, Lee, because like you said, flipping the shoes, how would it feel for you? Like to imagine my significant other with like two dudes, like, and then like that isn't fun to imagine. So it's like, damn, I can see the other coin of that. But maybe just like some communication too, though. Like it's like
exactly.
The other thing is you only live once. If you're gonna be married for like your whole life, maybe if I don't know. I'm not saying like he needed a hall pass and that would have made it all okay, but maybe some other maybe there was a way to be like, I don't know if you could have presented it to her. Like, this is like, I don't know if that would have ever worked.
Again, down that road where you're losing that thing, just talk to you. Like you said, communicate. Maybe there's something you and your missus can do to spice it up. Maybe send your missus to a club, you go to a club, role play, pretend you don't know her, have like a little scenario, things like that. You need to, keep the magic alive in your own relationships. Don't go look for this outside shit because
he
it's
wasn't
not
looking
gonna,
for it though. He said,
but I said it's always going to be there. It's always going, even if you're not looking for it, it'll be thrown in your face. But you know what's right, you know what's wrong, you know what you can and can't do when you're in relationships. So
it did sound like a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'll give him that.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. There's just some things you don't do if you're in a relationship or you're married and he's got kids. Because not only if it did come out, you've destroyed her, and now the kids are going to get involved, and they're going to tell daddy cheated on mama. Then you're going to get the whole custody battle, and it's going to go down that rabbit hole. Of, it's like, no.
Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy.
Wow. Lee really dug in there.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Jimmy?
Well, I mean, Lee said a mouthful there. I mean, I have to agree with him. I'm not gonna, I'm not trying to make it easy on myself to give my advice, but Lee covered a lot of ground there. So I definitely think, when you commit to a wife or a girlfriend, there's always going to be temptation, and if things ain't going good home, you should work on it and not really stray, because like Lee said, that's going to eat at you now the rest of your life. You're going to have that in the back of your mind that you were with two women while your wife was home with the kids. That's a shitty feeling, So you're gonna have to live with that now, So so now you said that sex is great, everything's good at home, but it's like committing a murder and you didn't tell it. You buried the body somewhere in the woods.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
what a comparison!
That's what it's like. Yeah.
Whoa.
So you have to live with that now the rest of your life. That you killed this person and threw him in the woods. You buried him. So no one.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be on your mind that person is laying in the woods somewhere dead, because it's the same thing. You cheated on your wife.
Jimmy, not only the body being there, you're always going to be wondering if you committed murder or you did this. There's always going to be that knock at the door. The police come and they find you. You're always going to have that thing.
Absolutely.
You're always going to have that thing. Say if these girls somehow still track my wife down and tell her, and she finds out. That's always going to be playing at you too. That one day this perfect family.
Or you'll be in the supermarket with your wife and kids, and all of a sudden you bump into these two girls in the supermarket. Yeah. So yes,
but
you're
hopefully
right.
Now he's learned a lesson, and he's treating his wife and kids extra special, going out of his way.
Yeah,
to
that's
make
the penance.
Family work now.
Well,
you have to go above and beyond.
I
have to be super dad. That's your penance.
The worst feeling in the fucking world is that you committed a crime and you got away with it, but you're always looking over your shoulder, and you're always waiting for that. You're always waiting for that knock on the door or the phone call.
I would hate that.
Because it's a crime that other people also know about. It's not just you. These people know about it. And you're thinking, are they going to leak? Are they going to come forward as witnesses? They're going to be like the whistleblower and blow this out of the...
So that would be taken like that murder. So like you and your friend murdered this person and threw the body in the woods. And then you said to each other, let's not say anything about it. Then you went back to your lives, but you're always thinking about that other person blowing the whistle, and that's going to be with you the rest of your life.
The other person that
100%.
Oh yeah, the mates. That's right. He had his mates there, but they probably won't tell his wife anything.
Well, you never know, Tyler.
I don't. You're right. I don't know.
Imagine if that mate liked his wife, and he's like, fuck him. I like his wife. I'm going to go tell his wife.
Now he's got something on him.
I'm going to tell his wife, and then when his wife goes through this breakup, I'm going to be there for her.
Right. And he might be bitter because he didn't get included where he initially was included.
Yes. It's a terrible situation. So as I'm sure in the Bible it mentions, Jimmy, about temptation and stuff, doesn't it? So
absolutely.
Dang!
Well,
wow,
when Christ was on the mountain, and Satan appeared to him, when he went to when he fasted for 40 days and nights in the desert, and Satan offered him kingdoms. Just that he would, he said, if you bow down to me, just pay homage to me, I will give you kingdoms of the world. So yeah, it's that's what it is. It's
And wasn't
what
it? And
happened was
who was it? Was it Job who got covered in sores and that, and all this stuff that like the devil?
Job, the poor guy got fucked.
no,
Yeah,
that was
like the devil.
no, that was Saint.
Sure. I thought it was Job. There's a story of Job where the devil
Job
did all
was
these things
Job
to
was
him.
in the whale. So
That's Jonah, not Jonah was in the whale.
Job, like God did everything to Job. He killed his kids, or was gonna kill his kids.
Job took everything, all his wealth away. Right, he took all his wealth away.
Yeah.
Right,
took all of his, literally his entire life away from him. And he was like,
but he
see,
still,
it was like a little bet
he
between
still
God and
never
the devil.
denied him, did he? He still never denied God or Christ, even though
in the Italians, they put money in the statue. It's he had sores all over his body.
Yeah.
I forget what saint that was, but my mother actually had him on one of the counters, and they used to put money in in between his legs and under his arm, because God punished him with swords.
He was a stripper?
Huh?
He was a stripper? They put money in his legs?
Oh, it was kind of similar, but a little different. But yeah, put money. So make a long story short.
What's the little handcuffs?
So only he would have those. So, make a long story short, that could have been like the devil tempting him, to presented him with these women to stray off against his wife and children. And I tell you, brother, I really don't. Listen, man, I'm not talking bad about you. I don't wish bad on you. I hope this whole thing just disappears for you. But it's really not the right thing that you did. Doing that. And listen, you're married, man. You know what I mean? You got children
and kids. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the worst part.
That's a different level when kids get involved because
you got the kids, man. That's that's a whole.
Man, I can just feel for him a little bit because he denied them the first time, and then they came back stronger, like you said, parting away like Moses.
The devil coming back to
so
tempt him.
Sexy.
Of course they can. That's what the devil does, man. He comes back stronger. That's what
it was
does.
The devil via two women.
It was the devil. Listen, being that we're men of cloth, we have to talk about God a little bit. So yes,
you guys. This is a harsh verdict from the priest. This got real.
The devil came at him hard, and because he was a married man, so that's what happened.
And sadly,
and he fell for it.
Like to say it. We don't like to say it as being men off the cloth, but in this instance, the devil won. The devil got it over on him. The devil
sexy
filled his
devil.
mind. The devil filled his mind of this fantasy of
the lusty, sexy devil.
Everything will be okay, but now he's come to realize he did the wrong thing.
And you know what? His wife wasn't with him at a wedding. That's already a red flag right there. And then the second one was he brought a blue pill without her there.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that until now.
What's with the blue pill?
The Viagra. Why did he have the Viagra on him?
Yeah.
If he wasn't
what are you bringing a sexual enhancement drug for if you don't have your wife with you for the whole thing? It was an emergency pill.
So maybe he's not telling us the whole story.
Well, that's the thing. The thing was, in his mind, he had planned maybe a little bit. He could do something in the blue pill, and the devil, knowing that, the devil threw that temptation right at him to see if he would go with it, and he did.
Well, this is what I'm saying. If he brought the little blue pill to him at this party without his wife, he already had something on his mind. So
right.
He's not telling us the whole story. Yeah. He's not telling us the whole story. So
maybe he'll follow up. Maybe he'll seek penance. Who knows?
But and like I said, the devil knowing this said, "Hey, I'm going to tempt you now because I'm really going to."
So what I'm telling him is that next week or whenever he feels like it, the next confession that he writes, he should tell us really what he was thinking when he went to that party. For him to bring a blue pill.
Yep.
What was really on your mind?
Yeah.
Not your wife and kids. Right.
Okay. Well, maybe he will, maybe he won't. Maybe we'll see penance. But we've got one more big confession left. A little finale.
All right.
Here
one more, Your Holiness. One more. That's right.
I know it's been you guys have been overtime. The priest
almost 3 hours. This has been good.
We're going for 3 hours already?
That's right.
In 3 minutes. Yep, 3 hours.
It's good entertainment,
no fucking
Jimmy.
Way.
It's
It
good
doesn't seem that
entertainment,
long,
Jimmy.
does it? Doesn't seem that long.
Holy
Maybe the people watching it are probably like, "Oh my god,
is it gonna be over?" No, I love hearing that though, because that's when you know it's like
next week. I got a confession.
No, listen, if they're following along, Lee, 3 hours is nothing because they're in the
if they're driving, it's a godsend. If they're driving, it gets them through it.
I'll be like, I must confess next week. My wife's mad at me. I sat and watched you guys for 3 hours.
Yeah, and I masturbated the whole time. Couldn't stop.
Listen, let me ask you a question. What show goes on for 3 hours?
Several. All kinds of podcasts.
Piers Morgan.
For 3 hours?
The good ones.
Joe Rogan. The good ones. That's right. The good ones go on for 3 hours.
Okay, all right. I never heard of a podcast
when you're
going on for
into it
3
and
hours.
you're talking,
Dave and Chuck the Freak comes to my mind. You don't
realize how time goes because you're
David, what did you say, Tyler?
Dave and Chuck the Freak. I'm actually like modeling my little host style a little bit off of it. Great 3 hour podcast / radio show.
Wait, who is this?
It's not important. I don't want to. It's called Dave and Chuck the Freak. You can look it up, but it's a great just relevant news podcast. But they go 3 hours all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, all the good ones.
All the good ones.
We pretty much are doing like 2 hours, pretty steady.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, but today went 3. That's pretty.
We had a lot of confessions. We got to make sure we get in. And this one, Jimmy, you'll be able to relate to this one. He says, "Hey guys, I'm a trucker like Jimmy. He's actually giving me encouragement on my weight loss journey. I love all you guys. Lee never holds anything back. Jimmy is actually pretty insightful. Tyler, even though you might hate the orange man, you're still all right." At the end of the day, man, what else could I ask to hear? That's what I needed. Now, back to my story. I used to argue back and forth with one of my liberal coworkers. He was a Bernie guy, and I like Trump. It's actually... I guess it's kind of relevant to the story. One time he brought up how smart he was and how good he was in football. He told me he used to play for Vanderbilt. That's pretty impressive, even though they hardly ever win. They do have some of the hardest criteria to get into school there. So yes, he was book smart. So of course, me being a smartass, I asked him what the hell happened. I don't think it takes a degree from Vanderbilt for someone to operate a forklift to load my trailer. And I'm sure he did that in like Jimmy style. You can imagine Jimmy.
Yeah.
He sighed and said he's clearly having some, emotional issues. That's why he wasn't operating a forklift. Well, he goes, "It's complicated." And I said, "What did you do? Get injured? Were classes too hard?" He said, "No, it was nothing like that. I don't mean to pry," this guy says, "but you piqued my interest." So he finally went ahead and told me what happened. So this guy that failed to operate the forklift for our confessor told him that he got married at the end of his freshman year of college. He and his wife went to visit his parents for Christmas break, his redshirt sophomore year. Vanderbilt wasn't in a bowl game, like most years. Another jab at Vanderbilt. Well, his dad, his brother, and uncle went to VFW. They wanted to have a few drinks and talk to friends. He got sick and decided to go back to his parents' house early. When he opened the door and started walking in, he heard moaning. He thought some guy was in his old childhood bedroom screwing his wife. So he busted the door open, this Vanderbilt guy, ready to kick some guy's ass. After kicking in the door, he had to stop in disbelief because what he saw he could not believe. This is like a Pornhub, I swear to God, video. His stepmother was pleasuring his wife. Oh
my God.
Ooh.
He got divorced. His dad and stepmother also divorced. His ex-wife and former stepmother moved in together.
Wow.
And then this guy went into a deep depression from that. He never went back to school. There you go. Not a confessional, just a story he thought you might like.
It's a good story.
We sure do. Oh my God, send all the stories like that in.
I like them. And the thing is, too, look, it's sad for him. It's sad for the father, too, because he lost his stepmom and he lost his wife. But yet those two found love. And sometimes in finding love, sometimes love isn't
messy.
Perfect. How you meet people isn't always like, what's that TV show, Sleepless in Seattle. It's not all about romantic movies. Sometimes there's a lot of crap that happens to find true love. And sadly, the two women found true love, but in them finding love, these two got hurt. But maybe that's a godsend because now maybe those two have moved on and found real happiness with other people.
Happiness.
So sometimes,
Huh.
every dark cloud has a silver lining, and
You say that. You do say that, Cardinal Lee.
I tell you,
yeah,
Lee, you really nailed things really on the head, man. I gotta say, you really. I'm listening to you, and I'm like, man, he's right on with that stuff. You
yeah.
know?
Well,
Spot
even
on.
like I said, dark clouds always move. So if you've got a dark cloud over you
Yeah.
today, it'll move on, and the sun will shine. Even when the dark cloud is over you, people remember, even though you can't see it, the sun is there behind it. So you can go, look, it's a shitty, cloudy, dark day, but the sun is there. Just because you can't see it, it's there. And that's like God. You can't see him, but he is always there watching over you.
Oh,
Wow,
what a sweet
Lee,
biblical tie-in.
that's
You like that,
unbelievable,
Jimmy?
Lee.
I know, Jimmy. I'm not even drinking. Well,
I know, man. It's just long. It's like 10 a.m. over there now. It's just like we're cutting into your day.
You know, I have
I
to.
do.
I
I do
have
have some
to.
pressure standing behind me, Jimmy. I do have some pressure. Look at my shoulder.
Yeah, you're really shocking me, Lee, with the
He's
stuff
on his
that.
A game for the boss there.
Yeah, it's like unbelievable the stuff you're
Yeah,
coming
I
out
got.
with.
I got to keep this promotion.
I'm impressed. So I have to say, that whole situation, that whole scenario it probably it was very shitty at the moment
Mm,
because the shock and awe
yeah,
of the findings of that whole thing.
Yeah,
mm.
But I at the end of the day, as the waters calmed,
that's the
like Jesus
water's
did on the boat.
calm.
That's exactly
Yes,
right,
with
because
the
Jesus did
fishermen,
that
and
on
he
the
said,
boat.
"Be
The
calm." And the
apostles,
oceans.
when all the
Yes.
apostles were in the boat and they were heading to
Mm-hmm.
Galilee, and the
Yes.
storms rose and the waves and the wind, and they were all shitting in their pants, and Jesus woke up and he says, "You men of little faith," and he just waved his hands and all the
Mm-hmm.
waters just calmed. So it's
Mm.
kind of the same thing. The initial shock of the
Is that the same
mother-in-law
one
with
when they threw their net out the other side of the boat as well, and they caught all the fish?
what was that?
Wasn't that
I
the
don't
same
think
similar
so.
story where they were fishing and they threw the net out the other side of the boat and caught the fish?
No, that was part of the story in the early stages of the story. Yes.
Yes.
But so yeah, they were on their way somewhere else because Jesus was going to preach somewhere else, and a storm happened, and Jesus was sleeping, and all
Mm-hmm.
the apostles started freaking out because the waves are coming over the boat and the wind and
Mm-hmm.
all. They were all scared to death, and that's when Jesus woke up and said, "You
Yeah.
men of little faith, I'm in the
Mm.
boat with you, and you're
What
still
are you scared of? Yeah.
right, you're
Yeah.
still freaking out." And he just waved his hand like that, and all the waters just
That's like when they're
calmed.
all. That's like when they're all
and
having
and
dinner.
and,
It
and
says
all the
when the
apostles were like,
yeah,
oh my God, he truly is the Son of God. He just waved
yeah,
his hand, and all the
yeah,
water, even the oceans listen to Jesus, right?
yeah.
So
And even
so
when they're having dinner, and he said, "When the cock crows so many times, one of you will betray me."
Mm.
yes, that's when he was in the garden.
Judas,
Yeah, it was
Yes.
Judas. Well, Judas, right? Judas betrayed him for 30 pieces of silver,
can I get you
Yeah.
some
and
more bread? Judas, how's the
and it,
wine?
and,
Judas.
and he ended up yeah. So when they were at the Last Supper, he leaned over to Judas and said, "Do what you have to do quickly." He already knew he was the
Mm.
betrayer, And then Judas took off, and
Mm.
he met the
All part of the
Pharisees.
weird
He
Yes,
ended up.
plan.
Then did Judas end up hanging himself? Didn't he? From guilt? Did he? Or?
yes, he hung himself from guilt, and he went back to the temple, and he took the 30 pieces of silver and he threw it at the Pharisees and says, "Keep your money," because he already betrayed Jesus, and they laughed at him, and then he just took off, and he ended up hanging himself because he couldn't take
Dang.
the
Mm.
guilt.
All
Yes.
comes back
I
to the
didn't know that
guilt.
part of the story. I guess I only remember the children's version of the Bible.
Even Cardinal Lee knew that, Tyler.
Dang. Well,
Yes.
you're a cardinal. I'd hope.
Yes.
Oh
I'd
yeah.
hope.
So anyway, I don't know how I was relating that to the story you just you just told me about, but but
You started with the ocean and the fish. Yeah,
yeah. So what was the basis of the
You said
story?
when the water's calm, then
Right.
maybe that's just maybe
Oh,
there was some.
so the mother-in-law was with the daughter. Well, I don't know, the two women,
Yeah,
whatever.
that's
Yeah. So
exactly it.
so what I
yeah.
was trying to say, what I was trying to say was, the initial findings of
Shock.
all that was
Mhm.
very
Mm.
very staticky and troublesome and all
Mm.
but then eventually it all settled down and
Mhm.
everybody found their place. That's
Yes.
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Mm.
So that's how I related to the
It's
oceans
almost
with
like
The
Jesus.
water's
almost like
calm.
when you ever have one of those games when you're little. It was like in a little plastic enclosed thing, and it had like a maze, or it had little things, and it had all
Like the
these little
flat Earth and the dome.
Now,
Exactly.
I'm just saying, you get this little thing. It's like
just
a
like that.
plastic thing with little silver balls in it, and inside you had little holes, and you had to move it around to get all the balls to sit in all the holes.
Of course, totally. I love those.
So like there's all the turmoil, and you're getting frustrated, and you're getting angry at it. But then when all the balls finally fall in place, there's a calm, and you feel happy because you've accomplished something. So from their tragedy came love, and they all lived happily ever after. And they ate fish and bread. They had baskets left over.
Not only the balls found their own place and you felt accomplishment. I also believe in destiny. So the balls fell where they were supposed to fall.
Exactly.
And then you were satisfied with the outcome of that, because that was the way it's supposed to be.
The book of life is already written. We're just playing out.
I 100% believe that. I believe that our lives are already played out, already written, and it's going to happen the way it's supposed to happen.
It's just going to happen, and no matter how wacky it gets.
So I think that when shit happens to you in your life, don't get upset.
Roll with it.
Just realize that, roll with it, because that's the way it was supposed to happen. You're supposed to learn from it, accept it, and get stronger, accept the situation, and just to keep going forward.
And just remember, this too shall pass.
This too shall pass. Exactly. 100%.
That's a beautiful token to end on, Father and Cardinal. I don't know. Reverend and Cardinal. Isn't that just delightful? Salute to your health.
Absolutely.
Well, Fathers, Reverends,
3
Cardinals.
hours, 10 minutes. We want to thank you all. And as I said, send in the confessions, but also just send in stories of something nice, uplifting, something you've done. We want to hear like good, positive stories as well. That, like, people say we changed their lives. Maybe you've done something that has changed somebody else's life. So feel free to tell us all this.
Yeah.
Listen,
you're anonymous, so even if you're worried about what you said, no one's ever gonna know who you really are. So you can really be honest. It's weird. It's pretty cool.
And I have something to shed on this situation. So, me, Lee, Tyler, and myself, we wouldn't be doing a podcast for over 3 hours if we didn't enjoy it ourselves.
It's true.
Exactly.
To talk to the people, share our stories, share our confessions with people. And this is for me, I've been doing after hours for years. And I always screamed and yelled and talked about, I talked about basically life situation stuff that happened to me, and I would get very upset, and I would just rant on the show, and I enjoyed it, and I still do with Dave and John and everybody, and I still like doing that. But this show was really totally different for me because it touches on people's confessions,
Yeah.
So that's like, it's very intimate. So I feel that we're intimate with the people because they're giving us their confessions, taboo stuff that they wouldn't, really tell anybody. And we're discussing it and we're talking about it. And that's why me and Lee, Lee and Tyler and me will go on for 3 hours because we actually enjoy this. This is
and they have to remember too, Jimmy and Tyler have had the whole day Friday. Jimmy's been working hard, so this is like getting late into the evening, and this is my Saturday morning when people are out normally doing stuff. I'm here talking to you because we love hearing from you people.
This is my Friday night.
Don't forget. I got up 1 o'clock in the morning yesterday, and I've been working all day. I got home this afternoon, and here I am on the show, and I'm dead tired and whatever. I'm drinking wine, I'm tripping. But I tell you the truth, I am. So I love doing this. I love the intimacy with the fans. I really enjoy it. That's why we did 3 hours. I didn't realize it was 3 hours because we enjoyed it so much. I didn't even realize it was 3 hours.
Almost 3 hours 15, Jimmy. Almost 3 hours 15.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. It's very entertaining.
I really want to thank all of you for joining us and writing in, and I really want you to continue to write in. And we have more stuff planned in the future for the show. We're gonna do more stuff that it's gonna escalate a little bit,
And we're likely going to go to other platforms, not to.
We're definitely going to go to other platforms. And
that might become a necessity.
I want everybody to like and subscribe to our show because,
Yes.
we want to keep doing it, and we enjoy it. And if you like and subscribe to the show, it's just going to keep us going, and we want to continue it. So
and we'll definitely keep you all in tabs if we do hot platforms or whatever the future of the confessional is. We're going to keep you updated on the front lines for sure.
100%. 100%.
All right.
So,
fathers, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Cardinal Lee Priest.
Thank you.
Reverend Jimmy, the rest of your Friday evening. I don't know if you got any more bottles of wine. I had an entire bottle myself. Who knows where we go from here?
As we say, just keep on, live, love, and laugh.
Oh yeah! Wow, I never even heard it before. It's beautiful. Wow.
Are you kidding me? I'm going to get up off this chair, wobble down the hallway, right to my bed.
Oh, no, he's done. And just pass out. I got to return
I really want to thank everybody. I love everybody for tuning in and watching this, man. And we want to continue.
Seriously.
Listen, there's no motive behind what we're doing.
No.
We're just
we're
doing it.
We're not doing this for money. We're not doing this for money.
We're not doing it for money.
Sure
believe me, we're not fucking doing it for money.
Yeah, it's not that.
We just really enjoy doing
I'm
this.
spending money on costumes. And
I want to be an altar boy, so I might have to drop on an altar boy costume.
Yeah, I'm buying 2-3 bottles of wine for this show, for crying out loud.
Yeah, come on, we're paying for wine. Oh man.
So
we love the people. We love communicating with the fans, and
absolutely,
let's keep it going.
Absolutely.
100%.
And there's still the confessions are flowing. I saw 1 or 2 pop in as we're on the show, so we're gonna keep going. See y'all next week. We're gonna keep the confessional going. Thank you, Father, Cardinal, Reverend.
Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Thank you,
Peace,
Hope, most of all.
Peace and love everybody. Love you, Lee. Love you, Tyler.
Love you guys. Peace
Sleep
and love,
well, Jimmy.
everyone.
I'll speak to you.
And don't forget, people, wait till Lee comes out here and me and him are doing the show from the restaurant of the church.
Oh, that'll be so fun.
Tyler, I hope you have money to bail us out.
I don't. I really don't.
That's the other thing. None of us, we're all broke. So we're all in the same boat together.
Jimmy and I getting arrested, getting locked up dressed like this.
We'll have to call Dave.
The mug shots. The mug shots will be worth it, honestly.
Like this.
Oh my God. Because you don't change. They don't let you change in the mug shots.
No.
Oh my God.
Amazing. Until next week, guys. Thanks so much. See everyone next week.
All right. Love you guys.
All right.